Hello all, welcome to session 11 of Selenium 4 training series. In this session, I am going to explain and practically demonstrate getting started list of Selenium WebDriver commands. So let's get started. First of all, what exactly is this Selenium WebDriver? Selenium WebDriver in simple terms is an API library. So what is Selenium WebDriver? Selenium WebDriver in simple terms is an API library. Like Java, like Java is a API library. Similarly, Selenium WebDriver is also an API library which contains a list of predefined classes, predefined interfaces, and these predefined classes and interfaces contain predefined methods. Okay, now in this session, guys, I'm going to practically demonstrate a huge list of that is getting started list of Selenium WebDriver methods, predefined methods that are nothing but commands I am saying here, right? So as you can see here, if I scroll down a bit, you see a lot of methods are there, right? Predefined methods of Selenium. I'm going to demonstrate as part of this session. So let me show you the API library page of Selenium WebDriver. So in order for you to go to the API library page of Selenium WebDriver, go to the official website of Selenium, guys, like selenium.dev, and click on downloads and scroll down until you see this Selenium WebDriver language bindings section. And under this, different programming languages are there. But as part of this series, I'm teaching Selenium on the base of Java. So I'll select this Java. Under Java, we have these three links, and last link is API docs. Click on that API docs. You will be taken to the Selenium WebDriver API library page. So this Selenium WebDriver API library page contains a lot of predefined classes and interfaces. You just need to select this all classes, a list of predefined classes and interfaces. The classes are in normal font. You see this abstract or notations is a class because it is in a normal font. Whereas, for example, if you see this action, it is slightly kind of bending to the right side. That is kind of italic, right? This is nothing but an interface, guys. Okay, so you can detect the class and interfaces like that. Okay, so here by is a class, whereas this CLI command is an interface. Okay, like that you can identify case. Okay, debug is a class, whereas decorated is an interface. And all these predefined classes and interfaces contain a list of predefined methods. Okay, Selenium methods. So if I search for WebDriver here WebDriver is an interface in Selenium. Okay, just search for this WebDriver. You see it's kind of italic. That means it is an interface. Open that, and in the search results you can see, guys, WebDriver is an interface, right? It's an interface. It's a predefined interface in Selenium, and it contains a list of child classes implementing the interface like Chrome driver. I explained in the last session, as you know. And scroll down, guys. Scroll down in this WebDriver interface page. Scroll down, guys. You will get a lot of methods also. You see close method is there, findElement. They're all different. Get method is there. Okay, a lot of predefined methods are there for this WebDriver interface. Similarly, if you go to some classes like Chrome driver or something, here also you will find a list of predefined methods. Okay, a list of predefined methods you will find, and so on, guys. Fine. So Selenium WebDriver in simple terms is an API library containing a list of predefined classes and interfaces, and these predefined classes and interfaces contain predefined methods. So in this session, I'm going to practically demonstrate a very big and getting started list of Selenium WebDriver commands that are nothing but predefined methods of Selenium. So let's get started. So to get started with this predefined methods of Selenium, guys, that is Selenium WebDriver commands, first I will launch Intellij. So I'll just window search and type Intellij here, and I got this editor. Just open this editor, Intellij ID editor. So in a while it will be launching. So fine, it's loading some project for us, an existing project for us, because in the previous sessions we have created few projects, right? But I don't want to use this project, guys. Okay, I don't want to use this project that I created as part of the previous sessions of this series. So what I want to do is I want to freshly create a new project. So I'll say file, new, I'll say project. I'll get this new project dialog. Okay. Here guys, I can either select Java or Maven, but I told you, right, we generally use Maven in real time. So from now on, we will go with the Maven projects only. So we'll select this Maven guys, and we have this library, JDK 17.0.2. As per today's date, this is the latest. But when you are watching this video, if you find any latest version, any latest Java LTS version, okay, JDK LTS version only, not normal version. If you find a latest LTS version, you can go with that LTS version of Java, guys. For now, I'm taking this latest LTS version of Java, that is 7.0.2 as per my date and time. So I'll simply select this select Maven and this JDK version and then next. Okay. Now it's asking for the project name, guys. I'll give a project name, say Selenium WebDriver Commands demo. Okay. So it's kind of very big, but that's okay. Selenium WebDriver Commands demo. Click on finish. So it's asking whether you want to open this new project in this window or you want a new window. I don't want this project, so I'll simply select this window. So this project view will be replaced by the new project that I'm creating. And that way I'm creating a Maven project, guys. It's not a normal project, it's a Maven project. Fine. So you see some loading is happening here in the bottom and it's still analyzing and all. Let all the things, you see, once you get a tick mark and if there is no loading going on, that means we are good. So fine, we have this pom.xml file also opened by default. I'll close it, guys. I'll expand this Maven project. You see, under the Maven project, we'll have this src. Under this src, we'll have this main and test. We have to write our automation scripts under test, guys. So expand the test. Under test, we have this Java. Under Java, we have to create a Java file, a Java class file, and in that Java class file, we have to write the automation code. Okay, so let's create a new file. Right click new Java class, I will say, and I'll name this file as a demo file. Simple name I'm giving, like demo. You can give anything. So the class got created, public class name got created, and inside this class I'll simply type main and press enter. You see main method got auto generated, and inside this main method, guys, okay, I'm going to write the automation code now. So I will start with I'll be using the Chrome browser, guys, okay, throughout this session. Okay, throughout this session, if until and unless this command requires any other browser, that's okay. But by default, I will be using Chrome browser for all these things. Okay, so how to write the automation code, guys? Okay, so I'll simply say create an object for the Chrome driver. Okay, I'll create an object for the Chrome driver class. As you know, Chrome driver is one of the predefined class in Selenium, and this constructor, when run, will open the Chrome browser for us. Okay, as explained in the previous session. Fine. Anyhow, this project is not recognizing this Chrome driver class because by default, when I create this Maven project, it comes with a library known as Java library, but it doesn't have any Selenium library by default. So what I have to do to get the Selenium library, okay, and how so that this particular class will be recognized from the Selenium library, what to do? Further, guys, simple. We have to open this pom.xml file. Inside this pom.xml file, under the project tags, somewhere you create dependency tags. Okay, dependencies tags. Inside the dependency tags, we need to add the dependency tags of Selenium Java. So for that, guys, I will open this browser and search for mvnrepository.com. I'll go to this website and search for Selenium Java here. Okay, I want the dependency library tags for this Selenium Java. Okay, I want the dependency tags for Selenium Java library. That's why I'm searching Selenium Java here. In the search results, we got this Selenium Java. Select that. And here in this Selenium Java, there are a lot of versions available here. You see, starting from 2.0.x to a lot of versions are there, right? So I'll go with this latest version of Selenium Java. As per my when I'm recording this video, the latest version is 4.1.1. But in your case, guys, if you have any other latest version of Selenium, you can take it, guys. Doesn't matter. Okay, take the latest stable version. This is a stable and latest one. I'm taking this. And here, once you go to this version page of the Selenium Java, here you see a Maven tab having the dependency tags for Selenium Java and this version that I selected. Click on that so that it will be copied. Go back to the Intellij, and here between the dependency tags of this pom.xml file, just paste it, Control V. That's it. Okay, the moment I control with these dependency tags, I'm getting this load options, Maven load options. I'll simply select this Maven load. This pom.xml file will be loaded and the required dependency tags for Selenium Java will be downloaded and configured with this project automatically by Maven. Okay, that's what is the advantage. So once you get a tick mark here, then means that means everything is fine now. So here I'll go to the demo.java. Now hold the mouse on Chrome driver. This time we are getting the import class option. Import this Chrome driver class from Selenium. That's fine. Now this object I'll assign to the variable of WebDriver interface. Okay, I'll not assign this object to the variable of the same class. Okay, so from now onwards we'll be assigning, once we create an object for the Chrome driver or any other browser driver classes. Okay, we'll assign those objects by default to the WebDriver interface. Okay, so we have to get habituated to this process. You know the reason why we have to assign the variable of object of a kind of class to a variable of a parent interface. You already know, as I explained in the previous session, but we'll 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 do this as a habit, because real time guys, everyone will be writing like this. They will not be writing Chrome driver is called new Chrome driver. Generally all the people will be writing WebDriver driver is called new Chrome driver. Okay, so let's get habituated to this process. I'll just name the object reference as driver, because all the people in the market use a driver name for this object reference. And here I'll simply say WebDriver. Okay, WebDriver is the interface. I'll import this WebDriver interface from Selenium. Okay, WebDriver interface from Selenium I imported. Now guys, here when I run this code, you already know that you will get illegal state exception, because right, we need the, because this Selenium WebDriver cannot directly communicate with the Chrome browser, and the Selenium WebDriver needs a mediator known as a driver executable is required, right? The Chrome driver executable is required, because here Chrome browser is there, Chrome driver is there. So instead of downloading any Chrome driver.exe or something, as explained in the previous session, we have another thing known as WebDriver Manager. Okay, another library is there. Okay, similar to Java library, Selenium WebDriver library, there is one more library known as WebDriver Manager library. Okay, this is also an API library, but we don't have to dig deep into this library. Okay, so it's another library guys, using which we'll automate the downloading process for this driver executable files. Okay, which Selenium WebDriver requires for communicating with the respective browsers. Simply type WebDriver Manager, and as you can see the error is coming guys. When I type WebDriver Manager, the error is coming because, so this Maven project is now configured with only Java and Selenium library, but the WebDriver Manager library is not configured with this project. Okay, so for that guys, again we'll go to the pom.xml file, and under the dependency tags, along with the Selenium Java dependency tags, we have to add the dependency tags for WebDriver Manager 2. For that, we'll go to the, again we'll go to the MVN repository here and search for WebDriver Manager here. Okay, and search. In the search results, you will get this WebDriver Manager from this GitHub Boni Garcia WebDriver Manager. Just select that option, and in this WebDriver Manager page, you will see a list of versions. We'll be taking the latest stable version, that is as per my date when I'm recording this video. It's like 5.0.3. I'll go with this version, guys. Okay. So I got this page, latest version page for WebDriver Manager, where I have this Maven tab, and here I'll simply click on this, and this dependency tags got copied. Now let's go to the IntelliJ and paste it here. Control V, done. Again, the moment I add this dependency tags for WebDriver Manager, you see this option is appearing where I have to load the Maven changes. Just select this. So it will download the required dependencies, and okay, it's importing and doing some stuff. Once the process is done, and once you get a tick mark here, then you're good. Go to the demo.java now and simply say dot. Okay, you see it's now recognized. WebDriver Manager has been recognized now. Since I'm automating this for Chrome browser, I have to select which option here, Chrome driver option, WebDriver Manager dot Chrome driver. Okay, dot setup. This line I have to write. Okay, this will take care of downloading drivers and all those stuff which are required for my machine. Okay, fine. I don't have to invest my time there. Driver dot. Now I will say I will maximize the. So here, let's wait here for a while, guys. Okay, let's wait here for a while. Okay, before I demonstrate any commands for you, let's wait here for a while, and let's first run it and see whether the Chrome browser is launching or not. Okay, so let's run this. Let's wait. It's running the script. We have to see the Chrome browser as launching. Okay, Okay, you see the Chrome browser has launched. Okay, we have written the Selenium WebDriver script in such a way that it will launch the Chrome browser. Okay, so this particular constructor, Chrome driver constructor, has this is a Chrome driver calling statement, constructor calling statement. It has called the constructor. In that particular Chrome driver constructor, there is a code like in as this is the predefined in Selenium. Okay, that particular constructor will be called. Uh, it will contain the code for opening the or launching the Chrome browser. That's what happened just now. Okay, we are able to launch the Chrome browser. Now, this is the time for us to go and explore these commands, guys. Get, maximize, and all these commands I'm going to explain now. Okay, so let's get started with the Selenium WebDriver commands. There are, you see, before I explain any comments here, guys, okay, so you just see here there is a getting started list, guys. Okay, whatever I'm trying to demonstrate is a getting started list of Selenium WebDriver commands. Even though they are large in number, that's okay. You see, a lot of commands are there, right, till here. But here, after this also, there are a lot of other commands also. You see, these are another list of commands are also there in Selenium WebDriver. But these commands I will not be explaining in this session. Okay. So as per the need basis, I'll be explaining these commands for you. But as part of this session, we'll be covering a good number of or big list of getting started list. Okay. Till here we'll cover in this session. Till this command will cover. This list will be covered in the next few sessions. Okay. As per the need basis or the concept basis, I'll explain. Fine. So now let's get started with the getting started list of Selenium WebDriver commands in this session. We'll start with the get command now. The purpose of the get command is to open the specified URL web page. Okay, so I'll go here to this editor, and here I'll simply use this object reference. Okay, this driver object reference I will use. I'll simply say driver dot. Okay, using this object reference I can call this command, guys. Okay, using this object reference I can call this command, that is our method predefined. This get is nothing but a predefined method, guys. Okay, I'm just calling that as command here anyhow. So inside this get command or predefined method, I just need to provide this double quotes. Okay, inside this double quotes, I need to specify the URL that I want to launch. So let's say which URL I want to launch. Let's say I want to launch this some URL I will launch. Okay, I want to launch this application URL, guys. omaya.blogspot.com website page. I want to launch this page. I want to launch. Okay, so for that, guys, so what I have to do here is okay. So first I'll type this URL, guys, as it is blogspot.com like this. If I type this URL and run this code, you will get an exception here, guys. As I already explained this part in the previous session, that if you don't give a proper URL like this, okay, without the HTTP or HTTPS, if you give the URL page, then the problem here is you will get an invalid argument exception. Okay, let me run and show you. So it is running now, and this application page will not be opened in the browser, guys. Even the browser opens, but in that browser, this application URL will not be opened, and the script will fail with an exception known as invalid argument exception. Okay. You see the application URL is not opened in this opened browser, and if you go here, you will see an exception known as invalid argument exception. You see, because you passed the URL in a wrong format. Okay, that's the problem. So how to pass the URL in a perfect format? So the best way is to, okay, open that URL in any browser, guys, and after that copy this URL. Okay, instead of manually typing this URL in the script, just browse this URL in any browser and copy the URL from here from the browser and paste it here. This is the best way. You see, automatically HTTPS :/ everything came up. Okay, you don't have to do any hard work. Now run the script. This time, you see get command will open this application URL in this browser. This time will not get any exception. The purpose of the get command is to open the specified URL. Okay, mentioned URLs. Okay, as you can see here, guys, the browser got opened, and in that browser, the application URL also got opened. This is the application URL that got opened. But as you can see here, this browser is there in the resized mode. This is not the maximized mode. This is actually the maximized mode. But at this moment, by default, this Chrome browser got opened in resized mode. Okay, but the application URL is opened. Next thing, I'll close this part. So the next thing that I want to explain here is after opening the application URL, I want to explain another command here. Okay, that is maximize command. I want to maximize that. Okay, want to maximize that browser window. As you already seen when I have run the script, the browser got opened in resized mode, but it is not there in the maximized mode. To change that into maximized mode, we need to run this command, guys. Okay, so how to run that command, I'll show you. Again, we have to use the same object reference, guys, after opening the application URL, or before opening also is fine, guys. Okay, here also you can try driver dot, okay, driver dot manage, okay, driver dot manage, and this command will return you what it is returning. Options class it is returning, okay, options class. So options class, again, if I say this is returning the options class, options dot, if I say object reference of the options dot, if I say, I'll get this predefined method is coming from the options class, okay, window is coming from the options. Again, this command is returning you the uh, window class, okay. So this window class, now this becomes the object reference of the window class, okay. It's a shortcut way of doing the stuff, guys, instead of creating object reference for each and every command, right? You have tried 3 or 4 lines, okay. Instead of doing that, if I simply say window dot here, okay, you see that window class has this maximize command, okay. Maximize method is there, predefined method maximize is in the window class, okay. I don't want to write 3 to 4 lines, okay. So this is the best way I feel. If you don't follow this best way, generally you have to do like this, guys. This is very big process, okay. Driver dot manage, put a semicolon here, and here say manage object reference is equal to options class, okay. Options class, it is returning the options class, right? So import this options class from Selenium, okay. Import this from WebDriver, its options class is coming, you see the options class got imported. And after that, again, using this manage object reference, okay, you have to again say manage dot window, okay, window. This will return you the window class, okay, window class. See, window class is there. So if I say window here, object reference as window is equal to, okay, again create local variable. You see, again this is the thing. Return type is coming. Again, using this object reference window dot, okay, maximize. I have to call. This many steps I have to write for maximizing the browser window, but I don't think this is the best process. So what you can do is, instead of doing all this stuff, guys, simply say driver.manage with this object reference, options class object reference. They directly say this is a shortcut way of doing this stuff. Window, and with this object reference, this will give you the window object reference, and say simply say object reference dot and maximize. Okay, instead of writing 3 lines, this is the best way. Okay, driver.manage.window.maximize. Now, if you run this command, guys, first it will open the Chrome browser, then it will maximize the browser window, and then only it will open the application URL. Okay, I prefer writing this maximize before opening the application, guys. Okay, so let me run this. The script is running now. This time it will open the Chrome browser, and then it will maximize the browser window, Chrome browser window, and after that only it will open the application URL. First it will maximize. You see, then application URL got opened in the browser window. Fine. So with this, we are able to maximize. Fine, guys. Great. Now there is one more command known as minimize. Okay. Not only we can maximize, guys, we can also minimize. Okay. Here we can also do this stuff with a minimized mode. Okay. So if according to your testing requirements, where let's say as part of your testing, if you have to test a particular application by minimizing and all those stuff, okay, a real-time case comes, then not only you can maximize, guys, you can also minimize. Okay, in place of this maximize, if you dot and provide minimize here, okay, driver.manage.window.minimize, in this case the Chrome browser will open. After that it will minimize the browser, and when the browser is in minimized mode, it will open the application URL and run the remaining script also in the minimized mode of the browser only. Okay, now run the script. This time you will see that the browser will get minimized. Okay, I have run the script. The browser will get minimized, guys, after opening up, and in the minimized mode only the application URL will be opened. Okay, I'll show you. You see, it has minimized the browser window, and I think the script is done execution, because you see the red color icon is gone. That means the script got executed. And if you again open this minimized window, you see application is already open. So like this, guys, you can run your scripts in minimized mode also with the help of this minimize, but we generally don't use that. Okay, maximize is a better command, I feel. Okay, fine. But there is a command in Selenium, guys, which will help us in minimizing the browser window. Okay, fine. Next, let's go with this find element. Okay, let's go with this find element, guys. So what I want to do is I want to go to this application URL page, and I want to find different elements. Okay, and on the different elements I want to perform different things. That's okay. Let's try to find some elements, guys, first of all. So Selenium WebDriver, as you already know, as part of previous sessions I explained, Selenium WebDriver is by default blind, and Selenium WebDriver actually uses findElement command or method to find the elements, but it cannot find by itself. To this findElement, we have to pass the locators. Okay, with the help of locators only, Selenium WebDriver, with the help of the locators and this findElement command, it will find the required elements on the web pages. Fine. So okay, so let's find some elements, guys. Okay, so let's find some elements. What I want to do is I want to click on this button, guys. Okay, I want to click on this button. There is a button known as click to get alert. So when I click on this button, guys, I'll get an alert. Okay, so if you see this kind of alert on the page, means that means the button got clicked. Okay, that's the proof. Okay, what is the proof that this button got clicked? When you click on the button, okay, if the button is clicked, you will see this alert, guys. Okay, so I want to automate this, guys. Okay, so for that, already the application URL is open. Here, the next thing is that in order to click on this button, guys, I need to find this button, right? Selenium WebDriver has to find this button, but Selenium WebDriver is by default blind, so it will take the help of the locator to find this button. Okay, so how to find the button? So simply use the same object reference, that is driver object reference. Say dot find element. Okay, this is a command, predefined command in Selenium, which will help us in finding the elements. Okay, so but Selenium, if you simply write like this, it will not be able to find this button, guys. To this particular find element, we need to pass the locator of this button. Then only this find element command will be able to find the this particular button. Okay, so here I'll simply say driver.findElement, and inside this find element, I'll be using some class, predefined class I'll be using from Selenium, guys. There is a predefined class in Selenium known as By.class. Okay, By.class is a predefined class in Selenium. We have to type that By.class. Okay, and in that By.class, there are different predefined methods of Selenium. Okay, so with the help of the By.class, we can access all these methods. So simply by dot, if I say ID, okay, ID is coming. But how am I able to do this? Okay, with the help of class name, I'm accessing the ID, right? How this is possible? As explained in the Java concepts, if you remember the Java concepts, right? So before coming to the sessions, I covered few Java concepts, right? So there was one topic known as modifiers topic there, and in that modifiers, we have a category known as non-access modifier, and in that category, non-access modifiers category, we have a non-access modifier known as static. So here, this particular method is static method, guys. This is static method. That's why I'm able to call this method with the help of I can call this method with the help of the class name, because otherwise I have to use object reference, right? For example, here get method is there, get predefined method of Selenium. How I am calling this method? With the help of object reference. That means this get method is not a static method, right? So here manage also is not a static method. Window is not a static method. Maximize is not a static method. With the help of object reference, we are accessing this method, guys. They are non-static methods. But coming to the ID is a static method of the by class. So how to prove that? So let's try this, guys, whether we can see this or not. Let's go to the official website of Selenium, selenium.dev. Okay, so you see, with the knowledge of Java, understanding the commands of Selenium WebDriver is a bit easy. Go to the downloads and click on this API docs. You'll be taken to the Selenium API library for Java. Okay, and here click on all classes and search for by class. By is a predefined class in Selenium. You see, by is a predefined class in Selenium. Click on this. By is a predefined class in Selenium, and this predefined class has some predefined methods. So as you can see here, ID is one of the method, right? ID is one of the method, but what is the type of the like what is this method type? Static, guys. Static means with the help of the class we can access the static methods, right? For non-static methods cannot be accessed with the help of the class name, but static methods, okay, static, if this ID is mentioned as static, means this method you can access with the help of the class name by.id, like that. Okay, even this link test name, partial link test, tag name, and this XPath, all are static methods. Okay, even the CSSSelector is a static method. A lot of static methods are there, guys. Okay, so here similar way, so by is a predefined class in Selenium, and it has a static method known as id. So class name dot id. So inside this id, put the double quotes, and we need to provide the locator, guys. Okay, so I am selecting id here because I already know that this particular button has the id locator. So I'll right click on this button, guys, and select inspect. Okay, so right click on this button and select inspect, guys, and this is HTML code of this particular button. As you can see, there's an id attribute. Okay, I'll copy this id attribute value of this particular button, click to get alert button, and I'll paste that in this by.id method. Okay, paste this. You see, this is now this becomes the locator, id locator. This is nothing but the id locator. If you have to pass id locator to this find element, inside the find element you have to use by.id thing. And now, so with this statement is going to find which element. This particular highlighted statement is going to find this click to get alert button, guys. And what I want to perform on this alert, I want to click on the alert. You see, there is a predefined command in Selenium known as click command that I'm going to use now. So using this click command, we can perform click operation on different UI elements on the web pages like button, link, hyperlink, that is checkbox. We can select a checkbox field. We can select a radio button, and many other things are possible, guys. Okay, many other things are possible. But for now, I'm going to show you this click command for with button. Okay, simply say dot. Okay, driver dot find element dot click. That's it. Okay, dot click. Fine. Driver dot find element by.id dot click. Okay, so fine. Looks good. Now this portion of the statement will find this button. Okay, this portion of the statement, highlighted portion, will find this particular click to get alert button, and whereas this command will click on the button. Okay, it actually click on the button. Okay, so this click is a predefined command in Selenium for clicking on a button or hyperlink or checkbox fields or radio buttons or any other UI elements on the web pages. Okay, simply run this. If you are able to see the alert, that means the button got clicked. On the web page, if you see an alert, then that means the button got clicked. You see, alert got displayed. This alert got displayed because this button got clicked. Guys. Click to get alert button got clicked and we got this alert. Okay, say okay and close. Done. So guys, this is what is a find element, guys. This is what is a find element, and as you have seen here, find element is one of the predefined methods in Selenium, and inside the find element we'll use a by class and its predefined methods. One of the predefined method I showed you is ID, guys. Okay, ID I showed you. Now let's go with the name, guys. Okay, now let's go with the name. So fine. So what is how to use name and all, I'll tell you. So here I'll remove this stuff, guys. I'll go to the same web page again. I'll go to the same web page, guys. And after going here, what I want to do is I want to type my name into this search box field. Like this, I want to type my name. Okay, I want to type my name Arun into the search box field. How to do this? So for this, guys, after going to this application page, using this driver.get, after going to this application page, I will simply find this particular search box field. Okay, this particular search text box field I want to find. So for that, I'll inspect this, guys, first. Okay, I'll inspect the search box field, and this is the HTML code of this search box field. It doesn't have any ID locator. As I already explained about the locators, guys, I don't have to cover again. In this tutorial series, okay, maybe in the second session of this training series, guys, I already covered about locators. If you have not seen that video and directly came here, guys, better I recommend you to go back to that second video and come back here so that you have the knowledge of locators. Hoping that you have the required knowledge of locators. Okay, I am just taking this session now. Okay, I'm continuing this session now. Here ID locator is not there, but name attribute is there. ID attribute is not there in this HTML code of the search box field, but name attribute is there. So I can go with the name locator. Copy this. As per the priorities also, if ID is not there, I can go with name. I'll copy this value, guys. Only Q is there in this name attribute value. This Q can be used as a name locator now. Come back here, guys, and type here the same command driver.findElement. And inside the find element, what is the locator I have to use? Name locator, right? So I have to say by class dot. This time I'll call the static method, that is name static method. Okay, by dot name static method I'll call. So inside the name static method of this by class, I'll pass the name locator. This particular Q I'll pass. Okay, I'll copy this Q and paste it here. Done. Then after that, what I have to perform on the search box field, I have to type the text into this. Okay. For clicking a button or for performing click operation, there was a click command in Selenium. But for typing the text into this kind of text box fields or any other fields, what command we have in Selenium? For that, we have a command known as sendKeys command. Okay, there is a command here known as sendKeys. Using the sendKeys, I can type the text into the different type of fields like text box, text area, password fields, and so on. Okay, I'll be using the sendKeys command, which will help us in typing the text into the required fields. Till here, guys, this particular statement will locate this or find this search box field, but which action I have to do? I want to type. For that, which command I have to use? Dot send keys I have to say. Dot send keys. Okay. Dot send keys. Inside the send keys, I'll provide double quotes and I'll give my name here, guys, in the string format. This is a string label, literal, right? This string literal I'm passing to the send keys command. Now, if you run this script, guys, it will, okay, it will type my name into the this particular search box field. Okay, run this code. You see, my name will be typed into the search box field. open, maximize, and after that it has to type my name into the search box field. You see my name got typed into the search box field and we are successful, right? This is a sendKeys command, and here name static method of this by class of Selenium. Okay, fine, I demonstrated. Now let's close this browser, guys, and let's move on to the next other commands we have. So here ID is done, name is done, guys. Now let's go with the class name. Okay, now let's go with this class name static method of this by class. So I'll remove this line here from here, and here what I will do here is after opening this application URL page. So after going to this application page, what I want to do is I want to click on this drop down button, guys. Okay, I want to simply click on this drop down button. So how to click on this drop down button? So for that, first I need to find this drop down button. So I'll say inspect, guys, inspect, and you see it doesn't have any ID attribute or it doesn't have any name attribute. But next thing is that we'll generally check for the class attribute as per the locator's priority. So there is a class attribute value also. I'll copy this and come here and simply say driver dot find element here by class, this time class name. Okay, class name static method I have to use because so by dot class name. Okay, inside this class name I'll provide double quotes and I will paste this class attribute value as a class name locator here. So this statement will find this drop down button, and what I want to do with this button, I want to click on this button. What is the command in Selenium WebDriver for clicking a button or any other stuff? Dot click, right? So simply say dot click. Now, so how can I be sure that the button got clicked? After I run the script, how can I be sure that the button got clicked? If the button is clicked, guys, okay, after a while you will see some options here. Okay, if you see Facebook, Flipkart, Gmail option after clicking the button, that means the button got clicked, guys. Okay, now let me run the code. That's the proof for the button got clicked. Or now it has to click on the drop down button and we should see that Facebook, Gmail, whatever the options, Facebook, Flipkart, and other options. So it has to click on the, you see, it has clicked on the drop down button, and if you are getting these options means Facebook, Flipkart, Gmail options, if you are getting means the button got clicked. Yeah, right. So hope you are able to understand so far. So let me close this, guys. Let me close this manually and go to the notes. So I am done with the ID, name, and class name static methods of the by class. Now I will explain one more static method of the by class, that is link text, guys. Okay, I'll go with the link text this time. So I'll remove this line, guys. Okay. So what I want to do here is I'll just want to go to this application and I want to click on this compendium dev link. Okay. This particular link I want to click. This link I want to click. So for that, guys, I'll inspect this link, right click, inspect this. The HTML code of this hyperlink will be coming here. You see it has anchor tags, right? Anchor tags are there, a tag and the ending a tag is there. And in between the anchor tags, there is some text also available. It doesn't have any ID attribute or name attribute or class attribute, but it has some text between the starting and ending tags of anchor tag only. Okay, so in this case, if you find an HTML element having the anchor tags and there is some text between the anchor tags, in that case you can use this particular text between the anchor tags as a link text locator. So I'll copy this compendium dev text that is there between the anchor tags here of this particular link, and simply here I'll type driver dot find element, and inside this find element, guys, I'll use a by class again and say dot this time link text. Okay, I'll be using the link text and link text static method of the by class, and inside the link text, guys, inside the double quotes, I'll paste this particular text that is there between the anchor tags of this hyperlink, that is compendium dev hyperlink. Paste it, and so this particular thing will locate this hyperlink, that is compendium dev. What I can do with the hyperlink, guys, I need to click on that. What is the command in Selenium WebDriver to click on the hyperlinks? As you already seen here, we can use the same click command for clicking on the hyperlinks. Okay, for clicking the links also same command I have to use, click command. Simply say dot and say click. That's it. Now run this script, guys. You see this time it will open the browser, it will go to the application and it will click on that compendium dev link, so that you will be taken to another web page. Okay, from omaya.blogspot.com you'll be taken to another. By default it will open the Omaya. From this page another web page will be opened in a while. You see, you'll be taken to another web page because the hyperlink got clicked. That compendium dev hyperlink got clicked, guys. Fine, this particular page got clicked. Okay, done, great. So when I click on this, it is taking me to this page, guys. Okay, so basic web page done, guys. So next thing is that is also done, guys. Okay, link text is done. Now let me go to the partial link text. Okay, what is partial link text? I'll tell you. So here guys, I want to click on this hyperlink, but I have to give the entire compendium div, right? This entire text I have to give. Here I gave the entire text compendium div. What if I give only up to compendium? Will this work guys? If I only give compendium here, I'm not giving the entire link text, rather partial link text I'm giving. Will the link text command will work? No guys, it will give you, it will not find. You'll get no such element exception or something. Okay. Run this code. If you give partial link text to the link text command, static command of this by class, you see, it will not be able to find the element. Okay, because only partial text you have given there. That's the problem. You see, it has not clicked on any link here. And if you go here, you will get the exception, guys. Most probably that no such element exception should come. You see, no such element exception having this particular link, having this particular link text. Okay. So what's the problem here? Here I gave the partial link text. Okay. Compendium dev is not the full text of the hyperlink. You see, the full text is compendium. Dev is also there. That dev part I didn't give. Okay. So I'll give only this partial part and I'll change this to dot partial link text. Okay. The link text I change it to the partial link text. This time it will work, guys. Okay, run this code. Run this code. But what is the purpose? Why? In what situations we have to use this partial link text? I'll explain. Don't worry. For now, just see, guys. Okay, I gave only partial text of the link, and partial link text will be able to do it. Okay, it will be able to click on the link. It will click on the link, guys, and you will be taken to that page, compendium dev page. Okay, you see, you are taken to this page, right? So this is working. Even though you gave the partial link text, the partial link text command is working for you. But in which situations you have to use this partial link text is something you have to understand clearly. Okay. So guys, simple thing is that partial link text will is generally used in real time if there is situation comes like this where, okay. So there is a web page, guys. On this web page, okay, on this web page, let's say on this web page, there is one hyperlink displayed. Okay. Generally, then the name of this hyperlink changes every day. Okay. On one day, the hyperlink name will be this particular hyperlink name will be like compendium compendium. Okay, one will be there. On particular day it will be one. Okay, or one will be there. Next day the link text of this same hyperlink, okay, the link text of the same hyperlink changes to, as per the development changes, it keeps on changing. Is next day it will be like, for example, if it is compendium 2 tomorrow, okay, compendium 2. Now another day again it changes, guys. Okay, it keeps on changing every day. So another day it will be compendium 3, and so on, guys, and so on. It keeps on changing. Okay, it keeps on changing. Okay, so in this case, if you see here, guys, the link text is changing, but some portion of the text is not changing. Only this portion, last character is changing here, but this portion is not changing. This portion of the link text is not changing. In that case, if I use the full link text, if I say by.linkText of, if I give compendium 1 tomorrow, this locator will expire, right? Because the link will be changed to compendium dev. Compendium 1 will not work because full text you have given in the link text. So that's where, guys, so in to resolve this kind of situations in real time, if you only want to provide some link text, text of the link, that is partial text of the link, which is actually constant and it's not changing every day. So in that case, guys, you can provide that compendium to the partial link text. Okay, so hope, guys, instead of link text I'll use partial link text in this scenario. Okay, instead of giving these numbers, I'll only give this partial link text and things will work for me. Okay, this kind of situations will come across in real time, days, where links keep on changing and only the some portion of the link text, text of the link will not change. That you'll pass to the partial link text command. Okay, so that's what is the advantage of the partial link text, right? So over link text. Okay, otherwise we generally go with the link text. If there is no problem with the link, the link is always constant, the link text is always constant, no problem, you can directly go with the link text. But if in cases, if the some portion of the link text is changing, in that case only that constant text in that link text you give to the partial link text and it will work. Okay, that's what is a real time case. Now, guys, let's go with the css selector followed by the xpath. Okay, css selector static method of the by class I'll use. So let's say I want to do something here. I'll go to this application page, and on this application page, I want to click on this login button. Okay, inspect this login button, guys. Okay, inspect this login button. You see, it doesn't have any ID attributes. ID attribute is not there for this login button. Neither it doesn't have any. Neither it has any name attribute is also not there. So name locator is not possible. Class attribute is not there. Class name locator is not possible. This is not an hyperlink also. Okay, input tag is there, hyperlink. So if it is not an hyperlink, right, you cannot use link text also. It's not a link text. Link text or partial link text will not work in this case. Then the next only possibilities we have here is What are the other two possibilities? CSS selectors and XPath expressions, right? We have to locate this button with the help of CSS and XPath. So let me generate some CSS for this. Okay. So there are two ways of generating the CSS for this case. Okay. So after I inspect this login button, I'll simply right click here and say copy, and I'll simply say copy selector. Okay. This option I have to say right click on the HTML code and say copy and copy selector. And if I paste somewhere, guys, okay, if I paste it somewhere, you see this what I got. Okay. This is what I got. This is a CSS selector that got generated by the Google Chrome DevTools. Okay, with the Google Chrome DevTools, I generated this CSS selector located. Either this one I can pass. This one looks very big for me. So what I will do is, as I told you, as part of the locator session, right? We can actually use okay, we can actually use some add-ons. That is selector sub add-on was there. So I told you again that we should not depend on this kind of add-ons, but still for a while, guys, till I explain. Okay, till I explain clearly what exact how to actually create your own CSS selectors and XPath expressions at the end of this series. We'll follow this selector sub. Okay, we'll follow this selector sub forever. Okay, this default Google Chrome DevTools is not actually giving a proper CSS selector for us. So what I will do is I'll simply I already installed. I showed you on the locator session, right? How to install the selector sub. So since the selector sub is installed, I'll just go to this after inspecting that required login button, and I'll get this element tag, and that subtags will be there like styles and all. At the end, you'll see selector sub will be there. I'll go to selector sub, and here, guys, all probable locators for this login button came. You see the login button got highlighted by selector sub here. And what I can use here is I can go with the CSS selector. Okay, I'll copy this CSS selector. Relative CSS selector I have to copy, and just paste it here, guys. Which one looks better? Okay, when I compare this with Google Chrome DevTools and this one, this looks short and simple and better. Okay, so I'll go with this one, guys. So here I'll say driver dot find element by dot. Since CSS selector locator is there, I have to use CSS selector static method of the by class. Inside the CSS selector, I have to give double quotes, and I just need to paste this. Okay, paste the CSS selector that I have generated. Either copy here and paste it here. Okay, if you want, copy and paste it here. This particular statement will find this login button, and what I want to do with this login button is I want to click on this button. What is the command for clicking on a button? Dot click command, right? I already showed you. So dot click command. So what will happen if I run the script is, so if you click on this login button without giving any username password, guys, you'll get this error password or username alert, guys. Okay, if you're getting this alert means login button got clicked. Now let me run this code and see whether the login button is getting clicked or not. If you're getting alert, login button is clicked. See, it has opened the application. It has opened the application URL, and if it will click on the login button. If the login button is clicked, you'll get this alert saying error password or user. Okay, so fine, guys, working fine. With the help of CSS selector, we located that particular button and we have performed the operation also. Okay, fine. Next one. I demonstrated all this ID, name, class name, link text, partial link text. CSS selector is also done. Now next one is XPath, guys. Okay, I'll show you the XPath. So how to use XPath? For XPath, guys. Okay, so how to use this XPath means, let me tell you. I want to do the same operation again, guys. Okay, the same login button I want to click. It doesn't have ID locator, name locator, class name locator, or it is not a link text. Either I have to use CSS selector or XPath. Just for demonstration, I'm going with XPath for now. So how to generate the XPath for this login button? Once I inspect this login button, if I right click on this and select copy, and you will see a copy XPath option here. Copy XPath here. Now just come and paste here. You see this kind of XPath is coming. Okay, fine. It looks fine only, but not the proper one still. So instead of using the default Google Chrome DevTools, either you can use this one also, guys. For a while, you can use this one also. I'm not restricting you, but I want to generate a better one. So for that, I'll use the selector sub. If I inspect this login button in the selector sub, you see this is a relative XPath, right? This is a relative XPath is there. Copy this using this option, and you see paste it here side by side. I think this one is very simple and optimized and very straightforward, and it's a better one. So I'll go with the selector sub generated XPath expression. Okay, so I'll go here, guys, and simply say driver dot find element by dot XPath. Okay, so XPath is a static method of the by class, and inside the XPath I have to create this XPath expression. Okay, copy this relative XPath of that login button and Control V. Okay, and this statement will find the login button, and I need to perform which operation on the button? Click operation. Okay, I want to click that button. Run this code. If you are getting that alert saying error username or password, that means the login button has been clicked. You see, if you get an alert, that means the login button has been clicked. Still loading, guys. Application page is loading, and you see error password or username got alert came. That means the login button got clicked. So with the help of XPath also, we are able to do. Fine. Fine, guys. All good so far. Okay, all good so far. So all the predefined methods of the by class have demonstrated so far, right? The next item we have is the WebElement, guys. I'll explain it now. WebElement is a predefined interface in Selenium, guys. Okay, and what is the purpose of this predefined interface that is WebElement in Selenium? I am going to show you. So, guys, let's go to this application, and I will explain a scenario here that we have to automate. So once we go to this application, as you can see, guys, there is a text box field which is coming with some preloaded text here, right? You see, when I open this application URL, this particular text box field by default is coming with some Selenium WebDriver text. Okay. So what I want to do from this thing is I want to first clear this particular text, guys. Okay. I want to clear this particular text, and after that, I want to type my name. Okay. I want to type my name like Arun Moturi. This second activity. First activity is clearing the text. Second activity is typing my name. Then third activity is again clearing my text. Okay. Again, I want to clear my text. And fourth activity is I want to type a different name here. Okay. Like this. Then again, I want to clear this. Okay. Again, I want to clear this. And this time I want to write Selenium 4, let's say. Selenium 4. Like that. I want to clear type, clear type, clear type, whatever it is. So thing is that I'm trying to create an example, guys. Not compulsory that every element you have to clear and type for whatever I'm doing. I'm just saying that on a single element you are performing multiple operations, right? On the single element you are performing multiple operations. So if that is the case, this particular command is very useful, guys. WebElement interface is very useful in this case when you are performing multiple operations on the same element. I'll show you the example. So after going to this application page, right? After opening this application URL, so what I want to do first is I will go to this page, guys. Okay. After going to this page, I want to first clear this text. Okay. This particular text box field is coming with this text. I want to clear this. So for that, in order to clear the text, guys, first I have to inspect this text box field, which is coming with the text by default. And this is the HTML code of this text box field. And does it have any ID attribute? Yes, ID is there, right? So I'll copy this ID attribute locator. Okay, I will use this ID attribute value as the ID locator. Copy this, and here to find this element, I'll type the command driver dot find element by dot id. As we already know, inside the double quotes, I'll paste the ID attribute value of this element. Okay, I copy pasted this element, and now this statement will find this text box field. Now, what is the first action I want to do? I want to clear this text like this. I want to clear. For that, in Selenium, there is a predefined command known as clear command, guys. Okay, this clear command can clear the text in text box fields or any other text area fields and so on. Okay, so I'll simply perform this action known as clear. Okay, clear like this. Okay, so this will clear the text. Once the text is cleared, guys, once the text is cleared like this, what I want to do next is I want to type my name. I told you, right? I want to type my name. Okay, Arun Motore, I want to type. Again, where I want to type the text in the same text box field, right? Again, I have to write the same statement. Okay, so driver dot find element. Again, I have to find the element and say by dot id and same id attribute value of the same text box field. And this time, what I want to do, I want to type my name. So full name I want to type sendKeys, and here in the double quotes I'll give my name, guys. Okay, like this I'll give. First activity on the text box field is done. Same text box field, second activity like typing my name is also done. Now again I want to clear this text, guys. Okay, third activity is like again I want to clear the text. Just understand this example, guys. We'll understand in a while. Text box one, same text box field. Again I want to clear the text after typing my name. After clearing this text, guys, this time I want to type uh, let's say uh, Selenium. Okay, Selenium 4 I want to type. This Selenium 4 I want to type. Okay, so for that, for typing that, again I have to say driver dot find element by dot id, give the same ID of the text box field, and dot send keys. This time I'll type Selenium 4. Okay, Selenium 4. You see how many activities I performed, guys? 1, 2, 3, 4 activities I performed, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 activities. On which element I perform? Same element, you see. Repeatedly, I'm writing this driver.findElement, 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 driver.findElement because it's same element. So this will work out. If I run this code, there's no problem with this, guys. So the script will run and whatever we wanted will happen for sure. But we can do it better, guys. Okay, that's what I can say. We can write the script in a better way. But first, in the normal way, let's see whether whatever we intended is happening or not. Let's see. See, if you see Selenium, you see it got cleared multiple times and it has typed the different things multiple times. Finally, Selenium 4 has been typed, okay, on this text box. But instead of, if you are performing multiple operations on element, guys, this is not the better way, okay? This is not the better way. So what we generally do is first we'll create the WebElement. Okay, first we'll be using this WebElement interface, guys. Okay, we'll be using this WebElement interface. How means we have to inspect this text box field, guys. We have to let's close this one. We have to inspect this text box field. Okay, we have to inspect this text box field and this HTML code, this ID attribute. Copy this. First, we'll say driver dot find element by dot ID and provide the ID locator, and this will find the text box field. And before I perform any actions here, before I run any commands like clear, send keys, click, or whatever it is, what I will do is I'll put a semicolon directly. And you see when I hover this find on this find element command or method, you see it is returning you what at the end. You see web element is being returned. Web element is an interface in Selenium, guys. This object of this web element interface is being returned. So here I'll say which element this is. It is a text box with preloaded text, right? I'll say text field. Okay, text field is equal to some name you give. Okay, text field. Okay, text field, some text field one or something you give. Okay, so like that, some name you give, any name is fine. And here over the mouse and say create local variable. You see what came here? Web element interface came. So one time you create this statement. Okay, instead of creating this statement this many times, one, two, same statement, right? Created how many times? 4 times. Instead of writing this statement 4 times, only for the first time itself, you create the statement and store that into a web element, okay, variable of a web element interface. And next time onwards, you can use this variable, guys, text field one dot clear. This looks very good, right? So text field dot clear looks good. Text field dot send keys. Text field dot clear. Text field dot again send keys. You see the script will work in the same fashion again. Let me run this code. It will work in the same fashion. So this is the purpose, guys. Okay, whenever you are performing multiple operations on the same element, instead of writing this driver.findElement multiple times, for the first time you write the driver.findElement and create a web element out of that, and using that web element you perform the multiple operations. You see here, right? It was very fast done. It's working fine, right? Without any problem, it worked out. So guys, hope you understood what is why we have to create web elements. Okay. So during Selenium automation, we generally create web elements, guys, here and there. So we have to be aware of that. Fine. So fine. Next thing is after this web element, I'll be explaining the other stuff, guys. That is already I explained the click command for different things, but I showed you how to use the click command for clicking a button, clicking a hyperlink. But I didn't show you how to use the click command for selecting a checkbox field or radio button. Okay, let me show you right away. I'll use the same click button and everything is already done, guys. Okay. Now we'll be using the same click command to click on a. If you want, I will show you the button also, not a problem again. I want to click on this click to get alert. Inspect this button, guys. There is an ID locator. Copy this. I'll quickly show you this. So here I'll simply say, now we are using the click command to click on the button. Okay. By.id. Sorry. By.id. And here paste the ID locator of that button and say dot click. Okay. This click command that I am writing here will click on this button, guys. Okay. Run this code. If this button is clicked, you will get an alert on the page. Okay, that's the proof. Whether the button is clicked on or not, how to find out? If you get an alert, that means the button has been clicked. So fine. So if you get an alert, that means the button has been clicked. You see the hello alert came because this particular button got clicked. Fine. This is how we can use with the button, guys. Click command with alert with the button. And next one is after the button, we can use a click on a hyperlink. Already I showed you, right? This particular hyperlink. So I will show you one more hyperlink this time. Let's try to click on some hyperlink here. Let's try to click on this hyperlink, guys. Inspect this hyperlink. So, so it has some ID, guys. This particular hyperlink has some ID, guys. Okay, I'll copy this ID of this hyperlink and I want to click on this hyperlink. So here also again I will say driver dot find element by dot id, id of that hyperlink. I'll paste it here and simply say dot click. Okay. So this click command will now click on the hyperlink and you will be taken to another page, guys, because of that click. So click command can be used for clicking a button, clicking a hyperlink. This time it will click on a hyperlink. You see it clicked on the hyperlink and the hyperlink is opening up here. You see it clicked, the hyperlink has opened here. Fine. Hyperlink got clicked. Fine. Why this got opened in a new page, new tab? Because there is a, if you inspect this HTML code, guys, okay, of this, if you inspect this HTML code, there is something mentioned as target is equal to underscore blank. Because of this attribute, when you click on this kind of hyperlinks which are in the HTML code mentioned as target is equal to underscore blank, this kind of hyperlinks will open in the new tabs. Okay, that's the reason this hyperlink is opening in the new tab. The script is still running. Okay, done. Now it got done, guys. Okay, you see the script stopped. That's fine. Now similarly, I'll show you how to run the how to use a click command for clicking or selecting a radio button. Okay, this time checkbox option first. Okay, we'll go to this our same application, guys, and here you see there is a blue checkbox option. I want to select this. By default, orange is selected, but blue is not selected, guys. So I want to select the blue. I'll inspect this blue, guys. When I inspect this blue, guys, this particular blue checkbox field, this HTML code of this checkbox field, and it has ID locator, guys. I'll copy this ID locator. I'll copy this ID attribute value of this checkbox field, and here simply I'll say driver dot find element by dot ID double quotes, give the ID attribute or locator of that particular checkbox field and say dot click again. So this click command is now going to select this checkbox field. Okay. So run this script, guys. Run this script. You'll see that the checkbox field is getting selected with the help of the click command. You see the blue checkbox field got selected here with the help of the automation code. So this is one of the purpose, and next purpose here is I told you, right, I want to select these options. Okay, so here male and female options are there. One of the option I want to select, let's say I want to select the female option. Okay, inspect that female option, radio button, inspect the female radio button. Okay, here ID is there, copy this ID. So I'll simply say driver dot find element, okay, by dot ID, give the ID of that female radio button and simply say dot click. Okay, so run this code, guys. Run this code. You see, using the click, we'll be selecting a radio option. Okay. You see, the female radio button got selected. Okay, with the help of the click command. So this is how, guys, we can use a click command to select click to not only click the button, not only click a hyperlink, but also to select a checkbox and radio button also. And many other things are possible, guys. Okay, many other things are possible. So whatever the UI element you want to click, for example, you want to click inside the text area field. You see, like this also. This is also possible, guys. Okay, if you want to click inside this text field. Okay, you see, if I click on this text box field, what's happening? My cursor is blinking in the text box field, right? By default, my cursor is not blinking in the this field or this field, right? So if I click only, my cursor is blinking here. Let's try to click on this text area field, guys. Okay, I'll right click and inspect this text area field. So if my cursor is blinking inside the text area field, that means the text area field got clicked. Okay, I'll copy this ID of the text area field on this page. Driver dot find element by dot ID, and here paste the ID of the text area field, paste the ID of the text area field, and say dot click. That's it. Okay, dot click. Now run this code, and you will see that the text area, my cursor will be blinking inside the text area field. Okay, because that's what is will happen when you click on a text area field manually. Just see, guys, the text area field got highlighted and also my cursor is blinking, as you can see on the screen here, right? That means the text area field got clicked. Similarly, guys, any UI element, if you want to click in Selenium, you have to use a click command, guys. Okay, not only this much, but any UI element, if you want to really perform a click action, just use a click command in Selenium WebDriver. Next one, sendKeys. Sendkeys also I showed you already here as part of this explanation. I already gave you the example for the sendKeys, but let me try cover it again, guys. Using sendKeys, we can enter text into different type of text fields like text box field, text area fields, and password fields. Okay, for example, here on this page, this is a text box field. Okay, this is a text area field. What is the difference between text box and text area? In text box field, only one line you can write, but in text area field, multiple lines you can write. And similarly, we have other kind of text fields like password fields. What is the password? For example, if you come here, guys, somewhere here, and there is a password, what will happen if you type into the password? You type into the normal field, normal text box field, the text will be visible. But if you type text into the password field, text is not visible. So whatever the field is there, if it is a kind of text field like text box, text area, or password field, if you want to type the text, sendKeys is the command. Okay, so let me demonstrate this sendKeys for command for you for typing the text into these different fields on this page. First, I will type the text into the text box field. Okay, this particular text box field I want to type. So for that, I will inspect this text box field, and this is HTML code of the text box field. And here ID attribute is not there, but name attribute is there. I'll copy this. I'll use this as a name locator. And here I'll simply say driver dot find element by dot name double quotes name locator dot. What I want to do is I want to type the text. Which command I have to use in Selenium for typing the text? SendKeys command. To this sendKeys command, I have to pass a string literal. In the double quotes, you can pass a string literal. I want to type my name into the text box field. Okay, like this. Run this code. My name will be typed into the text box field. It will open the application URL, and here my name got typed. Okay, as usual, as expected. Now similarly, guys, I want to type my name into the text area field. Here I want to type. Okay, I'll inspect this text area field, and this is the HTML code of the text area field, and it has ID attribute. I'll copy this ID attribute or ID locator of this text area field, and here I'll simply say driver dot find element by dot ID double quotes paste the ID locator of the text area field, and say which command? SendKeys command again. In the string literal, I have to give the string literal text here. Again, I'll give the same my name, guys. Okay, Arun Moturi I'll give, or else I'll give some text like this. My name is Arun Moturi. Okay, my name is Arun Moturi, like this. Okay, run this code. This particular text will be typed into the text area field. As you can see, this text area field, guys, you see my name is Arun Moturi got typed into the text area field. It's working fine. Similarly, guys, I can type my text into the and type the text into the password fields also. Okay, so here, guys, on this application page, here we have this password field. I'll inspect this password field, and okay, name password is there. Okay, name password is there. If I go to selector sub, I can confirm this. Yeah, unique name is there. You see, only one is coming. Name password, only one number is coming, means unique. So I can use this password name locator. I can use. Copy this, guys, and come back here and say driver dot find element by dot name of. Okay, give that name locator dot send keys command for typing that text into the password field. And here I want to type something like second. Okay, second is a password. Second second pass. Okay, second pass. Some random text, guys. Otherwise, you can give pass 1 2 3 as a password. Okay, run this code. You can give any text here. So this particular text need to be typed into the password field, but that text will not be visible anyhow because you see the password fields will hide the text. You see the text whatever I gave here got typed into the password field. Okay, like this. Done, guys. So like this, guys, using the send keys command, you can type text into any type of text fields. Okay, that's what is the purpose of the send keys. And next command is clear. Already demonstrated the clear, but let me demonstrate again. So what I want to do is, okay, when I open this application page, you see there's some text box field coming with some text, right? Even text area field is also there, which is coming with some text, right? This text box field, this is text coming by default, and text area field also, this is the text coming by default. I want to clear this text and this text both. So for now, I'll inspect this text box field first. Okay, if you want to clear the text from any text box fields, any type of text fields, then we have to use a clear command. So first I inspected this text box field, which is having some text, Selenium WebDriver. So here ID is there, guys. I'll copy this ID and I'll go here and simply say driver dot find element by dot ID, and here double quote space dot ID and say dot clear, guys. Simple clear command. Okay, run this code. The text inside the that particular text box field will be cleared. Okay, Selenium WebDriver text that is coming by default in the text box field will be cleared. Not only default guys, if you type and if you want to clear also you can do. Okay, you can type and also clear also, up to you. You see the text got cleared here. Similarly, I want to clear the text in the text area field. I'll inspect this text area field now. I'll close this browser instance and here I'll inspect this text area field too. And this text area field doesn't have any ID or it doesn't have any name locator or it doesn't have any class name locator. It's not a link text because it's not a hyperlink. Okay, so only thing is either I have to go with CSS or XPath. So I'll go with the selector sub guys. Okay, selector sub and okay, this kind of things. Okay, this one looks good for me. So I'll go with the CSS selector, relative CSS selector. But for now, we are depending on this selector sub guys. Tomorrow, if this add-on is not available, that will be a problem, right? So in the coming sessions, guys, I'll show you how to auto-generate, okay? Or you can also right click and say copy and copy selector also, okay? That is also another alternative way. So like this, you got something, okay? This also you can use, guys, okay? Let's try to use this one, which is auto-generated from this Google Chrome DevTools, okay? So copy this selectors, okay? Right click, copy selector, like that you can get the CSS selector for this text. Now here guys, since it is CSS selector, driver.findElement by.CSS selector is a static method of this by class and paste that and say dot clear guys. Okay, let's see whether it is working or not. Run this. Not always you have to depend on selector sub. Sometimes you can use a Google Chrome DevTools also. Okay, this kind of CSS selectors will also work. Not a problem. You see the cat was playing text got removed from the text area field. Okay, cleared. So this is what is a clear command guys. Now the next one is getText. Okay, the next command we have is the getText command. I'm going to demonstrate right now. What is this getText command? What is the purpose? I'll tell you. What is the purpose? I'll tell you guys. Okay, so refresh this page once. What is this? Actually, I'll close this part. Okay, guys, I want to retrieve this particular text. Okay, whatever the text that you are seeing here, that is practice automation here, right? This particular text I want to retrieve from this page and print in the output. Okay, in the output I want to print that particular text. What I have to do for that? This is also UI element on the web page. Okay, even though this is a text, this is also UI element on the web page, guys. So for that, what we have to do here is I'll remove this line and in place of that line, I'll find this element, guys. I'll right click on this practice automation here and inspect that. This is the HTML code of this. You see, this is a paragraph and it has some ID, guys. I'll copy this. I'll copy this, guys, ID and simply say driver dot find element by dot ID first. This particular portion of the statement will locate this text. Okay, this practice automation here text will be located by this particular statement. But what I wanted to do is I want to get this text. I want to retrieve this text from this web page and print in the output console here. Okay, in this editor. So where is this particular text available in this HTML code? Just observe, guys. Okay. So where is this practice automation here? Text available in this HTML code. It is there between these tags. You see, starting tag, ending tag, and in between the tags we have this practice automation here text. How to get the text that is there uh, between the starting and ending tags in HTML? I mean using the Selenium. For that, guys, only we have to use a command known as getText command. The getText command is a predefined command in Selenium which is used to retrieve the element text which is there between the starting and ending tags. You see clearly mentioned, right? The element text which is there between the starting and ending text of the any HTML element. Here element is paragraph. Okay, here in our case the element is a paragraph. In between this, okay, this is the element text. For this paragraph, this is the paragraph text, that is element text, and this particular text is there between the starting and ending tags. So this kind of text, if you want to retrieve for any element, okay, if that is there between the starting and ending tags, we have to use a command in Selenium WebDriver known as getText command. Now let me demonstrate this getText command for you. So after finding that element, guys, after finding this particular element, I want to get the text that is there between the tags, starting and ending text. For that, which command I have to use? GetText command I have to use. When I say getText, guys, this getText command will return me the string. Okay, you see the getText command is returning what, guys? String it is returning. Okay, so here I have to say string text is equal to, okay, this particular text I want to print in the output. So how to print in Java, guys? How to print the text in Java? So simply say s out and say press tab and you'll get this println statement and copy this text and paste it here. Okay, whatever the text that is retrieved by the getText command will be stored into the text and that text you are kind of printing in the output. Okay, run this code, guys. Have run the code. In a while, you will see that the text will be, the practice automation here, text will be printed in the output console. Okay, it has opened the application page, and it will retrieve the text. And if you go to this IntelliJ, and you see here, practice automation here, text is retrieved and printed from this particular element, right? It's working fine. So similarly, guys, not only this particular kind of text, guys, any type of element also. For example, if I go to this, let me inspect the submit button and see what is there. Okay, otherwise, here I'll go with this button, submit button, inspect this. You see, if you inspect the submit button, guys, you see there are button tags, starting tag, ending tag. In between that text is there, right? In between that text is there. So I want to retrieve this particular text, guys. Okay, I want to retrieve this particular text. So how to retrieve the text? I want to first locate the submit button, guys. So inspect the submit button and this HTML code of the submit button. And here we have the name, guys, but the same name is available for 3 buttons. But since this is the first button, we can use this as a name locate, no problem. Okay, but for locating this login button, I cannot use the name locator here because this is the second position. From top to bottom, which is coming first, this one. So this button can be located if multiple names are there, name locators are there, only this button can be located because duplication cannot be allowed. So copy this name attribute value, and this locator will only work for the first button, guys. It will not work for the next 2 buttons because this is the first position. Now here, driver.findElement by.name, give the name locator of that button, that is submit button, and say dot, what is that you want to do, guys? You want to get the text. Okay, you want to retrieve the text. That is, which text is there, guys? I want to get the label of this button, right? What is the label of the button? Submit label. You see, capital S U P M I T, and this particular label is nothing but the text between the starting and ending tags of this button, right? This particular text, if you retrieve, means that is nothing but the label of the button you are retrieving. So in real time, if you get a requirement where you have to verify the label of the button, then this is the process, guys. If that particular label is there between the starting and ending tags, then you can retrieve this label easily with the help of getText, because this particular text is there between the starting and ending tags of the button. Now this getText will return you the string, guys. Okay, that string I'll say button label. I'll say button label is equal to. Now here I'll print it out. S out tab. Just press tab and you'll get this println statement, and you just print it out, guys. Okay. Now run this code, guys. Run this code. Now submit label of that particular button will be printed here in the output. Okay, go to the IntelliJ and see here, you see submit label of the button got printed in the output. Similarly, guys, I want to get some label of a hyperlink or something. Let's see what I can do. For example, here, guys, there is a hyperlink known as Selenium 143. This particular Selenium 143 I want to print in the output. Okay. So for that, I'll inspect this Selenium 143. And this is the HTML code of the Selenium 143. It has some ID, guys. Copy this ID and come here. And here, write down driver dot find element by.id. Give that ID of that link and say dot get text. Okay. Why I'm saying get text means you see there is a text between this anchor tags, right? This text is nothing but the label of this whatever the label that is displaying here, right? For this hyperlink, the same thing is there here. I want to get that. Okay. I'll simply say link label is equal to link label or link text, whatever you can call, is equal to, and this is a string, guys, because you see this is string because this get text command will return you the string only. Okay. So now label BL. Now here, guys, S out and print this link label. Selenium 143 should be printed in the output for us. Run this code. The link label of that link that is Selenium 143 will be printed in the output. This is how we can use a getText command for different purposes. Now go here and see Selenium 143 got printed in the output. So this is what is a getText command, guys. Now we have very simple commands are there, guys. One is a getTitle command. I'll tell you what is a getTitle command. So let's say, guys, here I want to get the title of the page. For example, I want to get the title of this page. Okay, I'll go to this. Otherwise, I'll not disturb this one. I'll just open a new tab here. Okay, here I'll type one URL. I'll just search for this website, Internet Heroku application. As you can see, guys, this when I load this application URL, you see this particular page is displaying some title on the page, right? The internet is coming. The internet is the title of the page. I want to get this title of the page. The internet I want to retrieve and print in the output console. What I have to do, guys? For that, guys, copy this URL and go to your script and here remove this previous one. And here in place of this URL, you just paste that other URL. And once this script will open this particular application URL, I want to get the title of this page. Okay, the internet should be printed in the output. For that, guys, there is a simple command, guys, that is known as getTitle command. Okay, the command is nothing but the getTitle command. So how to use the command? Simply use the object reference, say dot driver dot, okay, get title. Simple, driver dot get title. So in order for you to get the title of this page, you don't need any web element, right? That's why you are not saying driver dot find element here. Even for opening the application URL, you don't need any element, right? That's why directly you are using this command like driver dot get or get title. These are browser level commands, guys. Get command or get title command are the browser level commands. That means to use these commands, we don't have to find any element. Okay. For example, if you have to use click command, you have to find an element, right? Driver dot find element something dot click. If you want to type some text into the text field or something, driver dot find element of the text field dot send keys. So those are like those are not browser level. They are application level commands which work on their respective elements. But here get command doesn't work on any element. Okay, it is a browser level command. Similarly, get title is a browser level command. Okay, from the browser on the from the this particular head section of the browser, whatever the title is there, it is retrieving, right? It's a browser level command. So in Selenium WebDriver, guys, few commands are browser level commands like this: get command, get title. Few more are there. I'll show you. I'll tell you again. Okay. So this get title is returning you some string. Okay. So string, simply say string title, or else page title. You can say page title is equal to what is the title of the page. What is the title of this page, guys? The title of the page is the internet is the title of the page. Okay. So simply say this out and print this page title. The internet should be printed in the output, guys. Okay, run this code. The internet should be printed in the output now. As you can see here, guys, the internet got printed in the output. That is the title of the page got printed successfully. Similarly, we have other commands. Okay, which will so get title is a command in Selenium WebDriver for getting the retrieving the title of the current web page. Okay, whatever the web page you are in that current web page, whatever the title of the page is there, that page title will be retrieved by the get title. Okay. Similarly, we have get current URL, guys. I'll go back to this, copy this. I'll open this application URL. After opening this application URL, guys, I'll be on this page, right? I'll be on this page. Now I want to get the URL of this page. What is the URL? This https://omega.blogspot.com is the URL. I want to get the title. Sorry, not title. I want to get the URL of the page. For that, there is a command known as get current URL is a command, guys. Okay. Driver dot get current URL, I'll say. Okay. So this is also a browser level command because for using this command, we don't have to find any element, right? This is a browser level command. Okay. Directly, I can call this command with the help of driver. So driver dot get current URL. This will give me the current page URL. Okay. So in the string format, string page one, I'll say page one. Okay. Page one URL. Okay. Otherwise, I'll say page one URL. And here I'll say sys out and I'll print this page one URL. Not only that, guys, what I want to do is I want to after that, guys, after that, what I want to do is after printing the URL of this page, I want to click on this link. Okay. I want to click on this link, guys. I want to print the title of this. I want to print the URL of this page again. Okay. This URL I want to print. Okay. So for that, guys, let me first inspect the Selenium 143 because I want to click on that link and go to another page. And that page URL I want to get it. Okay. Like that. Copy this ID of this link that I want to click. So here after this, I'll say driver.findElement by.id, ID of that link, and say dot click is a command. Sorry, dot click. And after clicking that link, guys, after clicking this link, I will be taken to another page, selenium143.blogspot. This URL I want. So here at this situation, this particular selenium143.blogspot.com page is open. And at that situation, if I say driver.get current URL, this will get the URL of this new page, okay, not the old page. So here that I'll store here string page2 URL I'll say is equal to, and simply I'll say sysout and print this page2 URL. Now run the script guys, run the script, and this time two URLs should be printed in the output. Okay, so first URL is of this omai.blogspot.com URL, and the second URL will be of that selenium143.blogspot.com URL. Okay, it has taken to this application. It is clicking on the Selenium 143 link. Done. Now you just see the Intellij output guys. You see first URL got printed here in this place guys. When you print the page one URL, this particular URL got printed, https://omai.blogspot.com. And when you print this page two URL here, http://selenium143.blogspot.com got printed. Okay, so this how the getCurrent URL will work. Similarly, there are other commands guys. I am going to explain the next command, that is a close command now. Okay, so far whatever the automation scripts have demonstrated, okay, I have manually closed the browsers if you have observed, right? So for example, this is one of the automation script I have run, right? Let me run it again. You see, the automation script will run in the browser. All the things that I have mentioned will happen, but ultimately the browser is not going to get closed, right? After the automation script is done, execution is done, you will see that the browser will not close by itself. You see the script got executed, but the script execution got completed here. You see the script execution got completed, but still the browser is still open. I want to close this browser. Okay, so generally I'm closing the browser manually guys, but what if I want to close the browser with the help of Selenium? Then there is a predefined command in Selenium guys, that is called as close command. So at the end of the script guys, okay, after let's assume that this is all the script, and at the end of the script as a last line I will be writing this code, driver dot close. Okay, and this is also guys a browser level command. Close is also a browser level command, because for closing a browser you don't need to find any element, right? So it's a browser level command. So when this particular line gets executed, the Selenium automation script will itself close the browser guys. We don't have to close it manually. Run the script. You see this time guys the browser will close by itself. I'll not be closing it. That's the purpose of the predefined command in Selenium, that is close command. So the application is loading still, and once the application is loaded, the browser will close. So one thing to explain here guys, Selenium actually waits for the browser to completely load. Okay, so it will keep waiting until the browser or application is loaded completely. Okay, so you see until this browser loading is completed, Selenium will wait guys. Sometimes what happens is applications will take a lot of time to load, but still Selenium will wait. It will not break. Okay, I'll just just hit it guys so that it will be fast. So let me run it again, because last time it was kind of slow. So this time you'll understand clearly. So fine, has gone to the website. Once the application is loaded, again it is loading also, waiting for this application. Maybe there are a lot of images on this web page, that's why it's taking time. Okay, so one way I generally follow is like I'll hit the URL guys. Okay, but you should not be doing that in real time. Okay, so you should not be doing that in real time, like hitting, because Selenium will like actually wait for the application to load. Okay, it has a lot of time, endlessly it will wait. So application is very slow guys. I'll take another script otherwise. Okay, so we'll do one thing guys. I'll simply uh, remove this code and directly I'll close the browser, because that application is taking a lot of time. I'm not able to demonstrate you the script. I'll close this. I'll run this again. This time it will only open this application, and after that it get the title printed in the output. Sorry, page URL printed in the output. After that browser has to automatically close. Run this. You see the browser has automatically closed because the driver.close command got executed. All good guys, so far all good, but there is one more command known as quit. Okay, there is a similarity between the close and quit guys. Even quit can be used for closing the browser. If I here in place of the close, if I add quit, okay, it will work. It will also work in the same fashion. Okay, this quit also will work in the same fashion of the close command, guys. Both will do the same job, but there is a difference, guys. I'll explain the difference later. But for now, you see, in this case, the quit is almost equal to the close. Okay, it's same as close. There's no difference between the close and quit in this case, but there is a difference, guys. I'll tell you after this. Okay, after the demonstration, I'll tell you what's the difference. You see, the quit is also closing the browser. But what is the difference between this close and quit? What is the difference between this close and quit? Let me explain. So this side I'll be writing the close command, guys, and this side I'll write the quit command in Selenium. Okay, I'll write the quit command in Selenium. Close and quit. Okay, close and quit. Fine. So what is the purpose of the close command? The purpose of the close command is to close the current browser window. Okay, whatever the current browser window is, that will be closed. Okay, whatever the active window is there, that will be closed. But in this case, guys, quit will close multiple windows. Okay, close multiple windows. If in case you have multiple windows open, then quit will work. Okay, close multiple windows. For example, guys, we'll do one thing. That is okay. 1 minute. I'll show you one scenario, guys, so that you will understand what is that I am saying. Okay. So for example, I'll go to this application page, and you know that when I click on this link, guys, when we click on this link, you see this is one window, this is another window, right? There are two windows now. This is one window and this is another window. So when I say driver.close, only active window will close. Okay. So when I say driver.quit, both will close. I will see that actually. Okay. So here first we'll open this application URL. After that, after this, guys, I'll click on this link so that it will open a new tab like this. So it has some ID. I'll click on this. I'll use this ID to locate that link. Driver dot find element by dot ID and provide the ID and say simply dot click. Once this link has been clicked, guys, it will open in this new tab. That is nothing but new window. In this case, new tab but new window. Once this new tab or window is open, if I say driver dot close, what will happen? You see, as driver dot close. So which tab will close? Whether omaya.blogspot.com will close or this Selenium 143 page will close. And there are multiple windows here, and this driver.close will close only one thing, that is active one. Which one is active? This one, original one is active, or the newly opened tab is active? The original one is active, guys. Okay, why means generally what happens in Selenium is first when you say when you hit this URL, guys, okay, when you open this URL omaya.blogspot.com, it will open here. Okay, so Selenium will be there here. Selenium control will be there here. Okay, on this original page. This is original page, that is omaya.blogspot.com. And on this page, guys, as you already know, there was a link known as Selenium 143, and we clicked on the link. And because of this reason, another new tab has opened. Nothing but new window or new tab got opened. This is the new one. Okay, new window got opened, which is nothing but Selenium 143.blogspot.com. But Selenium focus is still here only, guys. Okay, Selenium by default maintains the focus on the original window. It will not move the Selenium focus to the new window. Selenium will be there in the original window only. In this case, when you say driver.close, wherever the Selenium focus is there, that browser window will close. This new one will not close. Okay, we'll see that. Run this code. omaya.blogspot.com page will close, guys. Selenium 143 which got open new will not close because Selenium focus by default will stay in the original window only. So originally it is opening the omaya.blogspot.com, and after that it clicked on the Selenium 143 and it was very fast, guys. You see one of the browser window already got closed. You see only one exists. omaya.blogspot.com is already gone. Okay, if you want to see that in a slow motion, you can do one thing. Before you close something here, just add some thread.sleep, guys. Okay, hope you know thread.sleep, guys. Okay, so what is this thread.sleep is from Java, guys. Thread.sleep is from Java. If you want to halt this program for some time, okay, if you want to stop or halt this program for some seconds, for example, I want to halt this program for let's say 3 seconds. Okay, after 3 seconds, till 3 seconds, the program will stop. Okay, so add exception. So we have to ignore the exception, checked exception. This is. I'll explain more about the checked exception. Why we have added this throws and all in the Java topics as part of exception handling, that is going to come up later. Okay. I'll cover the exception handling for you guys. You'll understand then why we have to add this. Okay. So you got an error here. For now, just understand guys, thread.sleep I added and there was error coming and I imported this. Okay. I just selected this option and this came up. Blindly follow that for now. And the next few sessions, I'll explain this exception handling and other topics. Okay. So, but for now, focus on this line guys. Thread.sleep is from Java and its purpose is to, okay, when you provide here 3 milliseconds guys, you should give 3000 milliseconds. Okay, then it will become 3 seconds. If you give 3000, it will become 3 seconds. Okay, the dot sleep of 3000 means 3 seconds it will pass the program for 3 seconds. Okay, so now if you run this code guys, okay, before any tab closes, how does it look? You see, it will be more clear for you now. Driver.close will only close the active window, that is the original default window where the Selenium focus is there, that is omai.blogspot.com. Now Selenium will click on Selenium 143 link. You see two tabs are visible here, Omaya and Selenium 143, but one of them got closed. After 3 seconds, one of them got closed, right? Original one got closed. So driver.close only will close the active one. But if I give driver.quit here, in this case guys, all the tabs will close. All these tabs including Selenium 143 will close guys. Just run this. Okay, I have run this. This time you see, doesn't matter guys, both the tabs will close. You see, both the tabs will close. You see, not omaya.blogspot.com only, this time selenium143.blogspot.com also got closed. And one more example, let me give you guys, let me give you one more example here. I'll just remove this stuff. And here guys on the page, okay, I'll go to the same application page and here on this page guys, there is one link here, open a pop-up window. Click this, this will not open like a new tab, okay. Here Selenium 143 was opening a new tab, but when you click on this, this open a pop-up window, it will open as a new window guys. Okay, this is the original window, this is a new window. Okay, first window, but by default the Selenium focus will be there on which window, the original window or the new window. By default the Selenium focus will be there on the original window only, that is having this omai.blogspot.com. This new window, okay, the focus will not be there. So when you say driver.close, active window will be closed, that is original window will be closed and this window will stay. Okay, we'll see that. So here, after going to this application, I want to click on this link guys. Okay, I want to click on this open a pop-up window link. Inspect this open a pop-up window link. And okay, let's see what is the locator here. Mostly the link text will be the locator. Copy this text, link text, and here say driver.findElement by.linkText provide paste. Okay, driver.findElement by.linkText open a pop-up window link, pop-up window. Now say dot click. When I say click guys, it will click on the open a pop-up window and two windows will be there. Two windows will be open. This is the original window and this is a pop-up window will open. Now in this case, if I say driver.close, okay, as usual guys, as usual, I'll remove this part and so that you'll understand it again. So here, before I close guys, I'll add some thread.sleep. I'll give 5 seconds this time. Thread.sleep of 5000 I'll give. 5000 milliseconds means 5 seconds. I have to hover the mouse on the sleep and you see it's giving an option like add an exception. Okay, so just blindly do whatever it is saying guys to resolve this error. For now I'll explain, you'll understand this statement more when I explain exception handling. Okay, but till then just simply add the exception to the method declaration. Now run this code guys. This time you'll see first omai.blogspot.com will open and in that open a pop-up window link will be clicked and a new window will open. And the moment you say driver.close, original window will be closed, but the new pop-up window will be there still. You see, first window is opening, omai.blogspot.com default window. That Selenium focus is by default there. This is a new window that got opened. After 5 seconds, you see which window will be closed. Original window got closed and the new window is still there. Okay, driver.close will only close the original window guys, do not close all the windows. The default focus window will be still, that is active window will be closed guys at that time. Now, but if I say driver.quit guys, okay, it's kind of different from driver.close where irrespective of how many windows are there, all the windows will be closed. Okay, the browser itself will be closed in this case. So that's what is driver.quit. Run this code. 5 seconds. You see all the two windows got closed. Okay, two windows. That is what is driver.quit, guys. Okay, so understood what is quit and what is the difference between close and quit. You understood. Now let's move on to the next command, guys. Next command in Selenium, that is getAttribute command. So guys, my requirement here is I want to retrieve the label of this button. Okay, what is the label of this button? Search is a label. This particular text I want to retrieve. I'll inspect this button, guys. I'm just thinking that in the HTML code, this label may be there in between the tags. So, but to my surprise, guys, this is HTML code of this button, and you see only one tag is there. There is no closing tag, and this particular label text is not there between the tags. That means I cannot use getText command, right? Earlier we were using getText command to retrieve the text between the tags, right? So that we have done with this kind of buttons and all, right? The submit button, we have used this with submit button because in the HTML code of the submit button, the text, this label was there between the tags. But in case of this search button, there is no text between the tags. Only input tag is there and ending tag is not there. This is self-closing tag, and you see this label is not there between the tags. But if you clearly observe, guys, here label, just observe the label, guys. First letter is capital S EARCH. Okay. If you just find this text in this HTML code, guys, where it is input class is equal to class value title. This one is lowercase. This is not matching with the label. Okay. Here capital S is there. Here lowercase s is there. So I cannot take title as the label. Okay. Then type is equal to submit. No. But last one you see, guys, value. What is the value of this value attribute? What is the value of this value attribute of this particular element? It's matching with the label, right? Here such is matching. So if you want to retrieve the label text on this button, then we have to get this particular value out of this value attributes. How to do that? GetText is not possible because this particular text is not between the tags. It's actually a value of a value attribute. Okay, it's the value of an attribute of this particular element. To retrieve the values of any element, okay, to retrieve the values of any attribute in Selenium, we have a command known as getText command. We are going, sorry, not getText, getAttribute command. So getAttribute. Using this command, we can get the retrieve the values of any attribute, guys. Not only this value attribute, this type attribute, title attribute, anything we can retrieve here. Okay, so let's do that now. So for that, guys, I'll clear out this stuff. So which button I want to retrieve the label text for? This one, right? Search button. Inspect this button. This is HTML code. How to locate this button, guys? How to locate this button? Do we have any ID locator? No. Name locator? No. Class locator is there, but this is a duplicate, guys. If you clearly observe, so this input tag is having the same class attribute value, and this one is also having the same class attribute value. So selector sub is some tool which will give you kind of clarity. You see class name, it's giving two. It's hinting you that it's not a unique class name, right? So manually it's not easy for you to actually decide that this is kind of unique or not. But if you select a sub, this tool will tell you like, okay, yes, this is kind of not unique. Okay, because two are there. The first one is here. Second, you see class is equal to GSC hyphen search hyphen button. Here also class is equal to GSC. So I cannot use a class also because it is a duplicate. Duplicate, if there is something duplicate, that will not locate this TD instead of input. So class is also gone. Then what is the next one, guys? Link text. No chance because this is not a hyperlink. So link text is also not possible. Only possibility is that we have to use CSS selectors or XPath expressions. So as I already explained in the locators topic, CSS selectors have higher priority over the XPath expression. So I'll go with the CSS selector here. Copy this relative CSS selector. Copy this, guys. Relative CSS selector. Okay. Once copying that, come back here and say driver dot find element by dot CSS selector. I'll give something. I'll not give the full thing, guys. I'll just remove this portion. Okay. I'll edit this. Still, title is equal to search. Two are there. Okay. Both have the same title. That's the problem. You see, title is equal to search, and here I'll give type is equal to submit. Sometimes this is what is situation, guys. Sometimes for my requirement, I have to create a proper, because selector sub also I was not convinced because it was using the value. So I don't want to use that value. So I want to create a different CSS selector. So I tried this. Okay. So because I have the knowledge of how to create the CSS selectors from scratch, I was able to type. So how to do this, I'll explain you later, guys. Okay. During the later few sessions, I'll explain you how to create this kind of CSS selectors. Okay. So now press enter, guys. It's locating only one element, that is a search button. Copy this. Okay. Input having the title attribute as search, and type is equal to submit. Type is equal to submit, like this. Okay. It's very simple. Copy this. and here give that in the double quotes the CSS selector for locating that button. Now which attribute I have to use? I should not say dot click here. Which attribute I'm going to use, guys? Here I want to retrieve the this label out of this button. For that, that particular label is there in the value attribute. Here you see value attribute has that. So here have to use a command known as getAttribute command. Sorry, again I was wrong. 1 minute. Let me drag this so that I can see all the stuff properly. So here the command is wrong. Dot getAttribute. Okay, getAttribute. This command we have to use, guys. Inside that provide double quotes and at the end put a semicolon, and here I have to provide the name of the attribute from which I want to retrieve the value from. Okay, which attribute? Class attribute or title or type or value attribute? Which attribute from which I have to retrieve the value from this element? Value attribute. So copy the name of this attribute, that is value, and paste it here. That's it. Now this command will retrieve the value of this value attribute from that particular element. This part will find the search button, whereas this command will retrieve the value of the value attribute. So, and this get attribute will return in the form of a string, guys. Okay, that value will be returned in the form of a string. So string button label, I will say button label is equal to, okay. Now here I'll say this out, and I'll print this button label. Okay, button label, this particular button label I'll print it out. Now you see, guys, I'll simply say driver dot close here. Okay, so we'll start using the close command because every time I don't have to manually close the script. Okay. So what should be printed in the output, guys? The label of that particular text should be printed in the output. That is search label should be printed in the output. Okay, where S is capital. Get attribute command will retrieve the. So there is a problem, guys. What is the problem? Where is the problem? Let's find it out. No, there is no problem here. But what is okay? Here it got printed, guys. Okay, there's no problem, guys. Okay, there's no problem. I thought it is a problem. Okay, so fine. So here it got printed search label text got printed. That's fine. Now, guys, not only I want to retrieve the label of this particular thing, not only I want to get the label of this particular button, but also I want to get this class attribute value. Okay, title attribute value, that class attribute value is GSC search button. I want to retrieve and print in the output. I want to retrieve this value, lowercase search. Okay, and this submit also I want to retrieve. For that, what I have to do here is, because I'm going to use the same element multiple times, I'll copy this element. Okay, this particular element I'll copy paste here and put a semicolon here. I'll create a web element out of this. Okay, because if I have to use this element multiple times, I will create a web element out of this. For this example, I need to use this element multiple times. So I'll create a web element here. This is nothing but which button? Search button, right? Search button. Search button web element is equal to, for the mouse on this and say create local variable, web element will be created. Search button web element got created. Now copy the search button and in wherever you want to use it, say search button dot get attribute value. Similarly, guys, here I'll say search button dot get attribute. This time I will give a different attribute name, guys. Okay, that is a class. What will be retrieved, guys? Class attribute value will be retrieved. Okay, string class value. Okay, class value will be retrieved here. Similarly, again search button dot, again this web element search button dot get attribute of. This time I want to get the title of this button. Okay, that is search is the title. So here attribute name I'll give as title. Title attributes value will be retrieved and printed, guys. Okay, so here I'll say string title value is equal to done. Then not only this title, guys, there is one more thing. Type is also there. I want to get the type. Okay, that is submit. So search button dot get attribute, give type or name of the attribute, that is from which you want to retrieve the value, that is type string type value I'll say, and I will print all this stuff, guys, one by one. Sys out. So I'll say class value. Okay, sys out. Then I'll say title value. Then sys out. Then type value. Okay, like this. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Now run this code, guys. You see all these things will be retrieved and printed, not just value attributes value, but the remaining attribute values also will be retrieved and printed in the output. So you see here, guys, first label of the button, that is value attributes value, then class attribute value, then title, then type of type attribute value, that is submit. You see all the different attribute values got printed for this particular search button. So this is what is the purpose of the get attribute, guys. Okay, use it to retrieve the value stored in the specified attribute value of the HTML element. Okay, that's what is get attribute. Now let's move on to the next one, guys. That is displayed. These are very easy commands, guys. Is displayed, is enabled, kind of related, right? Is displayed, is enabled, is selected. You will feel the sameness. Okay, so first one is displayed, guys. For example, here, guys, do you see this button to displayed on the page? Yes, right. So if I use this command is displayed with this web element, it will return true, guys. It will print true. Yes, this button is displayed on the page, kind of. Okay, so I'll show you practically how to use the is displayed command. Now I'll remove all this stuff, and here I'll say I'll inspect this button, guys, for which I want to check whether it is displayed on the page or not. If this particular button is displayed on the page, it will print true. Okay, it will return true. Driver.findElement by.id. There is a button for the ID, guys. So dot is displayed, I'm saying. Okay, is displayed. If I use this command is displayed, guys, this command will return a boolean value. You see, boolean value is returning. Okay, string. Sorry, boolean uh, button display status. Okay, button display status. I'll name is equal to like this. I'll say. Now, if I say here if button display status, okay, if it is true, what will happen, guys? If this is true, if true will means this particular block will be executed, right? If condition will be executed. So I'll say yes, button got displayed on the page. Button got displayed on the page. Else I'll say else. I'll write the logic for else. This out. Button is not displayed on the page. Okay. The given button is not displayed on the page. Now run this code, guys. Here at the end, I will say driver dot close, guys. Okay. I'll say driver dot close. Done. Now run this, guys. So what will be there? So since the button 2 is actually displayed on the page, it will uh, it will return boolean value true, and if condition true will happen and button is displayed on the page will be displayed in the output. See here, if you go here and see, button got displayed on the page is getting printed, right? Button got displayed on the page is getting printed. Fine. Button got displayed on the page. Fine. Now next one. Next one is, so here I'll give some other button, guys. Okay. For this particular button, because this button is displayed on the page, it is returning true and that particular text is printing. But you see here, there is somewhere on this page, guys. Somewhere on this page, there is a hidden button also available. I'll show you. You see, this is a label. Under this, there is a button, guys, but you cannot see. Okay, this particular button is hidden, guys. Okay, let me inspect this label so that I can show you the button, how it is kind of disabled. When I inspect this hidden button, guys, okay, so you see this is a hidden, this is a label, and under this there is a div tag, and here input tag is there. So this is a button, guys, which is not displayed on the page because it has an attribute known as hidden attribute. If I remove this hidden, guys, you see the button is coming. Again, if I add the hidden, if I had hidden here and press enter, you see the button is not displayed. If I refresh this page, this is a temporary change, right? So this button is by default hidden. Okay, so that particular hidden button which is hidden from the page has an ID, guys. I'll copy this ID, and here I will, instead of this earlier button, I'll just give this H button. Okay, so what is the status of this hidden button? You see, this command will now return false because this particular button is hidden. It's not displayed on the page. It's hidden. It's there in the HTML DOM of the page, but it's not actually visible on the page. So is displayed command will return false. So if false means button is not displayed on the page, should be printed in the output. Okay. Now run this code. Okay. See here, button is not displayed on the page got printed. Okay. Button is not displayed on the page got printed. So that is a hidden button because that is a hidden button. Now next one, guys, is enabled. Okay. Is enabled. So if you go onto this page, guys, okay, there are different type of buttons. For example, button 2 is enabled state, whereas button 1 is not in enabled state, right? This is a disabled button. So if you use this command is enabled with this button 2, it will return true. Whereas if you use the same command is enabled with this button 1, it will return false because this is a disabled button. Now let's try this, guys. Okay, so let's try this. I'll inspect this button 2. So it has ID, copy this ID and paste it here. And now instead of saying is displayed, I'll say is enabled. Okay, is enabled, I'll say. We are checking whether the button is enabled or not. Okay, button enable status, enable status, button enable status. I am finding this time. I'll say button enable status. Button is in enabled state. Okay, here I'll say is not in enabled state, not in enabled state. Let's see whether this button should be in enabled state, right? It will return true. This is enabled command will return true, and if true, button is enabled state will be printed in the output. Okay, now run this code. You see the output, guys. Button is in enabled state got printed because the button was in enabled state. What about this button one? Inspect this button one. You see this button one is also having some ID. I'll copy this ID of this disabled button, which you cannot click here. You see this button cannot be clicked because that is disabled. I'll copy this ID attribute value of this button one and paste it here. This time what will happen, guys? If I give this here, what will happen this time? This is enabled will return false because this is a disabled button, and here button is not in enabled state will be printed in the output. Okay. You see this time button is not in enabled state, not in enabled state got printed because that is a disabled button. Similarly, guys, we have one more command known as isSelected. Okay. So you can use this isSelected with radio options and checkbox options. For example, here, guys, if I go to this application page, you see these two checkboxes of options are there. Orange is in selected state, whereas blue is not in selected state. Okay. If I use this command is selected with this orange checkbox field, it will return true, guys, because it is in selected state. Whereas if we use the same command is selected with this blue checkbox field, it will return false. Okay. Now let's try that. Okay, what I will do here is instead of doing much changes here, I'll simply inspect this blue checkbox field. Inspect. It has some ID, guys. Blue checkbox field has this blue checkbox. Sorry, orange checkbox field. Okay, I inspected the orange checkbox field. This orange checkbox field has an ID. So and this is in selected state, guys. Okay, orange checkbox field is in selected state. So copy and come here and paste the ID here. So here the command I am going to use is selected. Okay, is selected command. This will return true. This command will return true when the checkbox field or given radio button or checkbox field is in selected state. It will return true. So here I'll say uh, option. Okay, I'll simply say option selection status. Okay, option selection status I'll say. So option selection statement. Okay, so option is in selected state I will say. Otherwise option is not in selected state. Option is not in selected state I will say. Okay, not in selected state. Now run this code, guys. Now run this code. Option is in selected state will come because we have inspected the orange checkbox field, right? So option is in selected state is coming because orange checkbox field is in selected state. So if I give the blue checkbox field, okay, inspect this. This is the ID of that blue checkbox field. Copy this, which is not in selected state. So definitely this is selected will return false for this checkbox field. Okay. So option is not in selected state will be printed in the output. So go here and see option is not in selected state is printed. Option is not in selected state. Okay. Option is not in selected state. Fine. You can apply the same thing with the radio buttons also, guys. For example, here if I go with this bike radio button, does it have any ID? You see value is there, but ID is not. The name is same for these three options. Name is same. So it's better to go with the ID attribute is not there. Name attribute is kind of duplicate. Class is not there. It's not a linked test. So we have to go with XPath expression. CSS selectors are XPath. So guys, what I can do here is I'll go with this CSS selector. Okay, I'll copy the CSS selector. So I can copy from here also, guys. Copy selector and see what is coming. So this is a CSS selector coming. Control X. So I don't want to depend on the tool, guys. That's why I'm kind of okay. So driver dot find element by dot CSS selector of that particular radio option field, and simply I'll say at the end I'll say dot. Sorry, where is that? It's kind of very big, guys. Okay, so dot is selected, right? Is selected. I'll say is selected. So this time it will return true or false. For this radio button, that is a bike, it will return true or false. It will return false, right? Because it's not in selected state, option selected state. This one will be printed because false will come here. Run this code. So you see here is not in selected state because this radio button is not in selected state. What about this bicycle? Right click on this radio button and say copy, inspect, and this is HTML code. Right click here and say copy and copy selector. Come back here and replace the selected CSS selector. Remove this part and you see and child of 2 is coming. Then run it. This time it will say option is in selected state because is selected command will return true, and if condition will become true means option is in selected state will be printed in the output. You see option is in selected state, is in selected state. Okay, this is how we can use the is selected command, guys, with either radio options or checkbox options we can use. Next command we have is a navigate command, guys. Okay, next is navigate command. Let me explain navigate for you now. Using this command, we can perform a lot of operations, like we can navigate back to a previous page, or we can navigate forward again to the page, and we can refresh the page, and we can even open a page, okay, a new web page. I'll tell you how to use this command. So let me practically demonstrate that command for you. So here, guys, we have used get command to open this application URL first, right? After the get command, after using the get command, it will open like this. Then what I want to do next is I want to click on this link, guys. Okay, so this particular link I want to click. So then I'll be taken to this page, right? Selenium143.blogspot.com page. Then guys, I want to go back. Okay, so have to use this option, browser back and browser forward again back to the previous page. I want to refresh this page. Click on this, it will refresh the page. So all these operations, if you want to do or automate, then we have to use navigate command. Let me explain again in a detailed way. First, we have opened this application using the get command. After that, what I want to do next is I want to open Selenium 143.blogspot.com here. Okay. So then I want to say browser back, browser forward, and refresh. This is what I want to automate, guys. Okay. First, I'll be there on this page. When I say driver.get, I'll be there on this page. Now I'm going to use navigate command to open another page. Okay. By replacing this page, I want to go to another page. For that, I'll be using navigate, driver.navigate command. Navigate, and along with this navigate command, we have other child commands, guys. You can call navigate.to is there. Okay. So here I'll use to command. So these are all browser commands, guys. Okay, we don't have to find an element to use these commands. So browser commands. So what is the URL, new URL that I want to go? I want to go to this Selenium 143.blog. This URL I want to go. So I'll give this URL here. So first I opened this application. Then I went to another application using navigate.to. Okay. Then after this, guys, what I want to do next is I want to browser back. I want to do this browser back. So how to select this browser back? This is not a UElement on the web page, right? So for this, there is a direct command, driver dot navigate dot. Okay, here again navigate is repeating, navigate dot. I just need to type this command known as back command. Okay, earlier I used to, now I'm saying back. The moment I say this back, okay, it will click on this browser back button. Now I want to again go to the previous page. So I want to forward. Okay, I want to browse the forward part. So for that, guys, again I will say driver dot navigate dot. I'll say forward. So forward means I have to click on this browser back. Okay, it will actually click on this browser forward option, and again you will come back to the same page. Now I want to refresh this page, guys. This option I want to reload this page using this option. For that, driver dot again navigate. Okay, here all these are navigate commands. Navigate dot to, navigate dot back, navigate dot forward. This time refresh. So navigate dot refresh. That's it. Okay. So now run this code, guys. It will be kind of bit fast sometimes. Okay. So let's see if it is fast. I will do something. First, let's run in a normal way. Okay. Maximize first using the get command. Then after that, navigate dot to command. It has taken us to this page. Then navigate backward, navigate forward. Then after that, it has to refresh. It also has refreshed, guys. It was very fast. Okay. So if you want to just follow this with a delay, just add some thread dot sleep here and there. Okay, thread dot sleep. So already this throws interrupt exception is there. I'll remove that. I'll add it freshly. So here I'll add 2 seconds. Thread dot sleep, hover the mouse and add exception to method signature. Just blindly follow this. Why we are doing this, I'll explain later. So here after each and every command, just simply say like this. Okay, now run this code so that you can watch in a kind of slow manner. Okay, this time. You see, for 2 seconds, navigate dot to. Then after 2 seconds, navigate back. After 2 seconds, navigate forward. Then refresh after 2 seconds. Done. Right? Refreshing is done just now. Right? So that's it, guys. This is how we can use the navigate command in Selenium. Okay. So this is what is the purpose of the navigate command. It has some sub commands like to command, back command, forward command, and refresh command. Okay. All these commands I've shown you just now. Then next one is getPageSource command. Okay. Next one is a getPageSource case. So what is this getPageSource? I'll tell you. So let's go to this basic web page. Okay. Let's go to this basic web page, guys. So you see why I have selected this page is like if I have to watch the HTML code, if I have to view the HTML code of this page, I'll right click on this and say view page source. So it has only this much of HTML code. Okay. So it will be easy for us to understand. So I'll copy this URL, guys. I'll copy this URL and go here and give it here. Okay, I'll give this application URL here. Now what I want to do is I want to retrieve this HTML code of this page. Okay, what is the HTML code of this page? When I say right click view page, I'll get the HTML code of the page. This HTML code, okay, this HTML code of the page I want to retrieve. Starting from here to here, I want to retrieve and print in the output console of the Intellij idea. Okay, how to do that? So here first I have to open this application page like this, and after that there is a direct command, guys, browser command, get page source command. Okay, as you can see in this notes also, okay, there is a command known as get page source. Using this we can retrieve the HTML code of the HTML source code of the current page, and this get page source will return this HTML source code of this page in the form of a string that we can print out. So if you put a semicolon here, this is a browser level command, guys. We don't have to find any element to get the HTML code of the page. So get page source, it will return you the string. Yes, string HTML code of page is equal to, okay, HTML code of this particular page. Here I'll simply say sysout and copy this, guys, copy this and paste it here. Now simply say driver dot, okay, driver dot close. Now run this code. So we should see the HTML code of the page printed in this output console now. Okay, very simple command, guys. It will retrieve the HTML code of the page. That's it, and written in the form of the string. That string we are printing in the output console. You see, the HTML code of the page got retrieved and printed in the output console like this. This is HTML code of that page. So similarly, if you take any complex web page, same thing will happen. It will take the entire HTML code of the page and print in the output console. Okay, so fine. Anyhow, this is what is a get page source, guys. Now next command is submit command. Okay, so submit command, I'll show you one example. Sorry, I'll take you to this application URL. Okay, I'll take you this application URL, guys. Here there is a login page. Login section is there on this page. Now what I want to do is I want to enter the email address, password, and click on the login button. But I don't want to click on the login button there, guys. Okay, I want to submit this form. Okay, the purpose of the submit command is to submit the form, guys. Okay, so where is the form? Can you see any form here? Generally, if I have to write this code, I will be writing in it without using the submit command. If I have to write the code for getting logged in, I'll write like this, guys. Okay, first I'll copy this URL, this login page URL, I'll copy directly and paste it here, guys. I'll paste the code here. Then after that, what I will do here is I'll remove this. After this, what I will do is after opening this login page, I will inspect this email address field, and this email address field has some ID, guys. I'll use this ID as a locator. I'll simply say driver.findElement by.id. So inside this, I'll provide the ID of that particular email address field and say sendKeys command for typing the text. That is for typing the email address. I'll give an email address, guys. Say what is the email address I can give? So yeah. So I'll give this one, guys. Okay, cap9. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see whether I can log in or not. Yeah, it's working now. So I have tried that manually. So I'll do that with automation now. So this one, this email address I want to type into the email address field. So that email address I'm providing to the automation script. Next one, I have to inspect this password field, guys. Okay, I'll inspect this password field. And here, this one also has an ID locator. Copy this and simply say driver.findElement by.id. Then provide the ID locator and say dot send keys. Here password also I need to type, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the password, guys. I'll type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I'll type. The traditional way, guys, without using the submit command, if I have to log in, I need to click on the login button generally. I'll inspect this login button. As you can see, guys, the login button doesn't have any ID locator or name or class name, or it's not a link text. So we have to go with this CSS selector. Okay, either right click here on this, right click here, guys. Otherwise, okay, instead of using selector sub, you can use right click here and say copy and copy selector. I'll say copy selector for now. And here I'll say driver.findElement by.cssSelector. I'll paste the CSS selector. You see how much big it is coming. So selector sub will generate a better one. That's I know, but let's not depend on this tool for a while until we learn the XPath expressions and CSS selectors on our own. Let's not depend on this tool. Okay. So that's why I'm trying to take the help of the Google Chrome dev tools. Okay. Till then, dot click. I'll say simply, I want to click on the button. That's it. This is the lines I have tried, guys. Okay. So in a traditional way, without using the submit command, I'm simply using the normal send keys and click command to get the login done. You'll see that we'll in a while we'll get logged into the application. Okay, it will be very fast. So be focused. You'll go to the application URL. It will enter the email address, password. You see, it was very fast. It was. You see, I got logged in. Okay, here you see logout option means I got logged in. Done. So instead of doing this, guys, what I will do is I'll not write this last line. I don't want to click on the login button. In order to log in, I don't want to click on this login button, guys. I don't want to click on this. Rather, guys, there is a form here, guys. Okay. On this page, there is a form. Where is a form? Inspect one of the field here. Password field, let's say inspect. And this password field, just go up and you see there is a form tag. Can you see the form tag, guys? Okay. When I hover the mouse on the form tag, you see the complete email, password, and everything is getting highlighted. So if you don't want to click as part of automation, when you want to enter the email address, password, and you want to submit the form directly without clicking the login button, you want to log in without clicking the login button using automation, then what I will do is you see there is a form, guys. Okay, this particular form, does it have any? So this is a form. Simple terms is this is a form, and any element you take, guys. Okay, any element, either email address field, whatever the element that is there on the form, either email address or password you take. For example, let's take the password, guys. With the help of the password field, I can submit the form, guys. Okay. So any element, using any element on this page, you can submit the form. So here, guys, already this is for password field. I'll copy this again, and simply instead of again creating a locator for the login button, I just copied the password field. Okay, this is a statement for finding the password field. Dot submit, I will say, that's it. Any element on the form, dot submit. Okay, if you take any element on the form and say dot submit, it will submit the form, guys. That means that is equivalent to login. After you give the email address, password, and you take any element on the form and click on submit, then it will submit, guys. Okay. So any element means even this one also you can take. Forgotten password also you can take. Email address you can take. Any element on this form you just take and simply at the end find that element, any element on the form and say dot submit. It will submit the form. Okay, that's how simple the submit command is. You will see the same thing happening, guys. It will also log in for us. Another way to log in. And this is the purpose of the submit command in Selenium WebDriver. So you'll get logged in. Application is loading. Sometimes the application is kind of slow, guys. I recommend you to hit it. Okay. So in real time, don't do that. But for this practice purpose, you can hit it. That's okay. So whatever it is, you got logged in with the help of submit. Okay. Done. Fine, guys. This is what is the submit command. We can submit the forms. Okay. You can even try if you, for example, if you want to practice this, and you can go to the register page, guys. Okay. This register is also a form, guys. Any element on this page. Okay. For example, inspect any element, telephone, and so just go scroll up. You see this is the complete form, guys. Okay. Any element on this page you can say and dot submit. The form will be submitted. For example, let's take this telephone field only. It has an ID, guys. I'll go to this URL first. Okay. Without entering any details, I'll submit the form. You'll see, you'll get all the validation errors. That's okay. So what after going to the register page, what I'm going to do is I'm just taking this ID attribute of this telephone. One of the field on this form I'm taking. This telephone is one of the field on this form only. Okay, on this form, this telephone is a field. I'm taking the locator of this telephone, and simply I'll say driver dot find element by dot ID, provide the ID of that telephone field and say dot submit, guys. That's it. Okay, the form will be submitted without filling any details. We are submitting the form, guys. Simple. Okay, I've run the code. It is running. You see, in a while you will see the form will get submitted and you will get all the validation messages. Because we didn't fill any mandatory fields, right? You'll get all the validation messages for the, you see the form got submitted, guys. Okay, with the help of telephone field and all the validation message for mandatory fields got displayed here. So guys, this is all about the submit, guys. Now let's go with the next few comments. We are left out with this many number of commands for this session. So these commands I'll be explaining later. I told you already. So because few of them are advanced commands, and right, I need to go with a topic wise. Okay, so I cannot explain this kind of way. So anyhow, let's go with this command, get tag name command. Okay, first let's go with the tag name command, guys. Okay, so what I will do here is go to any application. That's okay. Any application you can go, guys. I will go with this omaya.blogspot.com. So I want to get the tag name of this text area field. What is the tag name of the text area field? Inspect this, guys. Inspect this text area field, and this is a HTML code. What is the tag name, guys? What is the HTML tag name of this text area field? Text area. So if you want to retrieve this particular tag name of this field on the page, you have to use a command known as get tag name command. Okay, it's very simple command. You'll see that in action now. So I'll first copy this URL, guys, and paste it here in the get command. After opening this application page, I want to get the tag name of this text area field. For that, I'll inspect this text area field, and this text area field has an ID. Copy this ID and say driver.findElement by.id. Provide the ID locator of the text area field and say get tag name. That's it. Simple. Okay. This get tag name will retrieve the HTML tag name of this particular element that we have located, and it will return in the form of a string, guys. Okay. String. Sorry. Simple here. String. Okay. Text area field tag name. What is the tag name of the text area field? Simple terms. I'll simply print it out, guys. Okay. I'll simply say text area field. I'll print it out and say driver.quit here. Either driver.quit or driver.close. Anything you can use, guys. Let's run this code. The script is now running. That is text area is the tag name, right, for that field. So the text area will be printed in the output console. Okay, fine. As you can see, guys, the text area has been printed. You see the tag name, the name of the tag that is text area got printed in the output. Similarly, guys, for example, if I want to get the tag name of this this particular search box field, okay. So inspect the search box field. It has a name locator. I'll copy this name locator, copy, and come here and simply say driver.findElement. Instead of by.id, I'll say by.name. Provide the name attribute value of that text box field and start get tag name. Okay, so here I'll say field tag name. I'll simply make it generic field tag name. Okay, now run this. This time you'll get the input. Okay, input tag printed in the output. Okay, because that search box field has input tag in the HTML code. Input tag will be printed in the output console, guys. You see, input tag got printed in the output console. So with this, guys, we are done with this get tag name. Let's go with the next one. See, get CSSValue. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to inspect this one of the option on this page. For example, this blocks menu. This blocks option I want to inspect, and I'll get this HTML code. This is HTML code of this blocks. Similarly, there is subtab known as styles here on the right side, and here you see the styling of this particular blocks option is displayed here. You see there is some attribute name attribute. There is some style known as line height, guys. Okay, which has some value also, that is 35px. This 35px I want to retrieve. Okay, this 35px I want to retrieve, guys. Okay, for this particular element, line height is the CSS property of this UI element as part of line height is 35px. That value I want to retrieve. In that case, guys, I can use get CSSValue because this is all CSS. Whatever styles means CSS, right? This CSS. So not only this 35px, if you want to retrieve the normal or alt text align, you can retrieve, guys. So whatever the CSS properties of this blocks you want to retrieve from here. For that, we have to use a command known as get CSSValue. So what I will do here is I'll remove this stuff, and after going to this application, simply I'll inspect this element first. Inspect this blocks menu. Let me inspect it properly. Yeah, this is the blocks menu. ID locator is there for the blocks menu. Driver dot find element by dot ID. I'll give the by.id, guys, and paste the ID and say dot get CSSValue. This is the command, guys. This is a predefined command in Selenium, which will retrieve the CSS value. And this cannot be empty, guys. Here you have to provide double quotes and which CSS property you want to retrieve for these blocks. For example, I want to retrieve. Okay. For example, I want to retrieve what was that, guys? Line height. I want to retrieve. Copy this line height. So here value is 35px. That should be retrieved. And this get CSSValue will return string. String. I'll say CSSValue. CSS value retrieved CSSValue, and I'll print this out saying sysout sysout, and I'll print this CSSValue and run this code, guys. I'll run this code. You see the CSSValue of this blocks menu will be printed. Okay, that is 35px should be printed in the output console. If that is okay, then it is working fine. If you see 35px here, then that is fine. You see 35px got printed in the output. Similarly, guys, you can retrieve any other thing. For example, you can retrieve this font weight. Let's see, normal should come. If I give font weight here, instead of line height, if I give font weight, so that normal should come. Let's run this. Okay, some other thing came. That's okay. Maybe some other where the same font weight is there. Let's see where is the font weight. Mm, font weight. Anywhere the font weight is there? No, somehow it came. Maybe this is nothing but normal equal to something. So whatever that came is fine. Okay. Text align. Let's try text align, guys. At least this should be our okay. This should give us a proper value. So let's run this. Text align center should come, but let's see what will happen. Yeah, center came. Okay. So this is how, guys, we can use a get CSS value command. Now let's go with the next command, that is get size command. Okay, get size. So which one? Let's go with this button, guys. Okay, or we can go with another thing also. For example, yeah, let's go with the button only. So there is a button, guys. There is a button. Okay, I want to get the size of this button. What is the height of the button? What is the width of the button? I want to get. Okay, for that, guys, get size is a command. After going to this application, I want to get the I want to find the height and width. See, maybe as part of testing, right, you may have to verify the height and width of the button. Okay. If you want to automate that, then what are the commands in Selenium for for verifying the height and width of the buttons? So inspect this button, guys, once. Inspect this button once, and ID is equal to button. Qt2 is there. Copy here and say driver dot find element by dot ID. By dot ID. Give the ID, guys, and say dot getSize is a command. As I already mentioned here, using this getSize command, we can get the height and width of the button. So it will not be direct, guys. Okay, getSize will return you something known as dimension. Can you see here, guys? GetSize is returning what? Dimension. So say D, otherwise say D, short form D, and say create local variable. So dimension will come, return type dimension is coming of the getSize. So using this D, guys, object reference, what you can do is sys out D dot, okay, height. I want to find the height of the button. So D dot height. Using this object reference, we can get the height. Similarly, sys out D dot width. Okay. Now after getting the height and width of this particular button, I want to pitch. Now run this code. Like this, guys, any UI element on this page, if you want to find the height and width, this is the way, guys. You have to use the getSize command. With the help of getSize, we can find the height and width of the button. You see, the height of the button is 22 px and the width of the button is 62 px. Okay, we got that in the output. Fine. Now this is how we can find the height and width of the button, guys. Using the getSize, it will return the dimension. Using the object reference of the dimension, we can find the d dot height and d dot width. Now there is one more thing known as location, guys. Okay, I want to find the location or position of this button on this page. Okay, what is the position of the button on this page? So position of the button on this page or any UI element on this page. Okay, the position of any UI element on this page can be measured with the help of x-axis and y-axis. Okay, so x-axis means from the left side of the screen, from here where my mouse cursor is pointing, from here to here, what is the length? Okay, what is the length here? This is x-axis, and from top of the page, till to button 2, okay, till here, what is the height? This is y axis. Okay, x axis, x position, and y position. How to get the x and y position of this button? How to get the position of this button on this page? As part of testing, you may have to verify the position of this button on the page or any UI element on the page. We have to do that with the help of getLocation, guys. Okay, there's a command known as getLocation. So button is same, guys. The button is same. So but here instead of getSize, I'll use dot getLocation. Okay, but this getLocation will not return dimension, guys. It will return some other thing that is known as point. It will return point class. Okay, so here say point p is equal to, you say, okay, point p is equal to. So import this point from Selenium. That's okay. And p. So here to get the x position of the button, I have to say p dot x. Okay. And similarly to get the y position of the button, p dot y, I have to say. That's it, guys. Now run this code. It will give you the x and y position, coordinate positions of the button on the page. Okay. Coordinate positions of the button on the page in a while. You see, x coordinate position is 113 of the button, 8085 is the kind of y from top of, this is more, right? This is less and this is more. Okay, that's how. That's fine. Now guys, interestingly, getSize will only get you the height and width of the button, whereas on any UI element, whereas getLocation will get you the x coordinate position and y coordinate position of that particular element, UI element. Whereas now we have one more command in Selenium, which got introduced as part of Selenium 4 initiative anyhow, that is getRect. Okay, this will not only give the height and width, but also it will give you the x and y positions. So all the things, that is height, width of the element and x and y coordinates of the element, everything can be we can get using a single command. We don't have to use separate command system. Just use getRect to get everything, guys. Okay, so I'll show you here. The button is same. Instead of saying getLocation, I'll say getRect. Okay, so this command will return rectangle, guys. Okay, the return type is a rectangle. As you can see, this is a rectangle. So here say rectangle r. Now using this object reference, you can simply say, if you want to get the height, r dot get height. That's it. If you want to get the width, r dot get width. Okay, this is the width of the button or any UI element. This out. If you want to get the x coordinate position, get x. That's it. Now if you want to get the y coordinate position of the element, r dot get y. That's it. You see, everything we can do with the help of this single command, guys. We don't have to use getSize for getting the height and width and getLocation for getting the x and y coordinate positions of the button or element. Here, all the things we can get from getRect command. Okay, getRect is a modern command which can do all the things. Okay, you see, this is the height of the button, this is the width of the button, this is the x coordinate position of the button and y coordinate position of the button. Okay, So all the things we are getting using a single command this time. Now guys, next one is full screen guys. Okay, we can actually view the page in a full screen mode. We can automate full screen mode. Okay, so what does it mean is, for example guys, if you see this page, so this is what is resize mode, this is maximize mode, but this is not the full screen mode guys. Okay, in Chrome browser, if you have to see this particular page in full screen mode, then what I have to do is I have to click on these three dots, and here in the Chrome options I have an option here. Can you see this square option? So hover the mouse, you see tooltip is coming as full screen. Select that option. You see now it is in full screen. In full screen mode, you will not see any application URL. Okay, the which application URL page you are on, you cannot see the address here. Application address you cannot see, guys. Okay, and when I move my mouse onto the top, guys, I'm getting some option here. You see some cross option is coming to get out of the full screen mode. You see now I am in the maximize mode. Okay, so this is a full screen mode, guys. Okay, this one is full screen mode. I want to view this page in the full screen mode. For that, what I can do here is I'll simply say, after opening this application, I'll simply say first the application will open in the resize mode. The Chrome browser by default will open in the resize mode. Then we are maximizing it. Then I'm opening the application. Then I want to see this application in the resize mode. So I'll say simply say driver dot manage dot window dot here full screen. Okay, here instead of maximize, I'm giving full screen here. That's it. Now at this location, the application will be displayed in the full screen mode. You see. Let's say if you have to test an application, you have to automate an application full screen mode. This command we can use. Okay. There is a kind of thing where you have to verify something in full screen mode, then shift that page to full screen mode and check. Okay, you see the page got shifted to the full screen mode. This is what is the full screen mode. Okay, you need to come out like this. Fine, guys. This is what is a full screen mode. This predefined command in Selenium can be used for taking the application page to the full screen mode. Okay. Now set size. Okay, there's one more command, guys, like set size, where we can set the size of the size of the application, like at what height and width this browser should be displayed. Okay, you see here we don't know what is the height and width here. Okay, so some height and some width are there for this browser window. I can customize that. Okay, I can customize in what height and width I want to take. So for that, guys, again I will do the same thing. After I maximize, you see I'll open this Chrome browser by default in resize mode. Then I'll maximize the browser. I'll open this application user. Here I will set the size. Okay, so how to set the size? So let's try this command. Same thing, guys. Driver.manage.window will be there. Driver.manage.window will be there. After that, here instead of maximize, you give set the size. This command you give. Okay, in place of maximize, you give the set size. But here I need to pass the dimension. Guys, you see, it will take the parameter as dimension here. You see, set size needs dimension. So let me create the dimension here. Dimension d is equal to new dimension of. Okay, like this. Okay, dimension d is equal to new dimension. Like this, you create an object, and here this dimension is anyhow from Selenium only, so no problem. Here give some values, guys. Let's say I want to give the dimension as 200 comma 400. Okay, 200 is the width and 400 is the height, like that. Okay, so let's see how the browser, this particular browser window will be displayed in 200 and 400 height and width. Let's see. And this d I'll pass here. Simple. Now run this code. So we are customizing the height and width of the browser window using the set size command. Okay, we are not maximizing, we are not making it full screen, but we are resizing it to a particular size, customized size. Maximize node, after that resize will get resized to this mode. Okay, this is what is 200 by 400, guys. Okay, if you want to change this, let's say I want to give this kind of different, like 100 and height as 800. You'll see a difference now, the kind of height and width of the window. 100 800. Okay, width is 100 only, but height is more, 800. Maximize mode, then you see this is what is 100 is the width, 100 is the width, and 800 is the height. 800 is the height. Okay, fine, guys. Like this also, because maybe you may get a testing requirement where you have to resize the window to a particular size. Then you can use this set size command of Selenium. Okay, you can use the set size command of Selenium if you want to resize to a particular window to a particular height and width. Okay, then next two more commands are left out for this session, guys. Okay, after this we are done for this session. So the next command, the last but one command we have for this session is get class command. Okay, so what is this get class? How we can use it? I will tell you. Okay, so here guys, so what is this object? Okay, so this object reference is referring to which object? This driver. Okay, this driver object reference is referring to which object? Chrome driver object, right? Here we created an object for the Chrome driver. Okay, that object we are referring here, right? Right. So if during the automation, if you want to find out what is the uh, current, what is the class of this object? Okay, this driver object reference, you want to find what is the class for which this particular driver object reference is referring to. Okay, to which object to which object it is referring to. Okay, object of which class it is referring to. If you want to find, for that guys, we can use driver dot. Okay, driver dot, what was the command guys? Get class command. Okay, it is a browser level command. Okay, so it's a browser level command. So get class dot, you see when I say get class, right, what it is returning, let's see. When I hold the mouse on the get class, it is returning you some class case. Okay, I don't want because I want string, I don't want class. Okay, I want this name of this class for which this driver object reference is referring to, object of this class for which this driver object reference is referring to. I want to get that in the form of string. So for that guys, I have to say get class dot get simple name. Okay, this will convert this class into string guys. Okay, whatever the class name that is retrieved will be converted into a string. Now this will return you the string here. You see this is returning you the string. I'll say string name is equal to, okay, class name is equal to, or name is equal to this out. Just print out this name guys, and finally say driver dot fetch. So what should be the output guys? Okay, Chrome driver should be the output. Okay, this driver object reference is referring to the object of which class? Chrome driver class. Okay, that I am trying to retrieve here. Okay, during the dynamically, there may be some situations when you are running the automation script where you have to dynamically find the, okay, dynamically find the class of the object. Okay, that is currently happening. So in that case, guys, you can use this. Okay, using the object reference, you can call this method known as get class, and it will retrieve the uh, object. Okay, it will retrieve the name of the class of the object for which this driver object reference is referring to. And after that, you have to convert that in string format using get simple name, and that you can print it out. So Chrome driver should be printed in the output console, guys. Okay, this should, the name should be printed as, name of the class should be printed as Chrome driver, because currently this object reference is referring to the object created by this Chrome driver class. That's why. Now run this code. During the runtime, whatever the class name for which this object reference object is referring to, okay, so that will be printed. That is a Chrome driver will be printed here in this case. You see Chrome driver class got printed in the output. Okay, as expected. Fine. So this is what is the purpose of get class, guys. Okay, it may come to use at some point of time. Okay, don't think that it will not come to use in real time, because we'll be building a lot of stuff. Okay, frameworks and all. Somewhere we have to use a get class for a particular purpose. Okay, so you will learn it naturally anyhow during that real time. But now last one, guys, page load timeout. Okay, so guys, we have seen, right, we have seen one example for this. For example, this page was taking too much of time. For example, if you remember, if I take you to this page, oh my god, not this page, this one, Selenium 143. Okay, this blogspot page, if I take, it's taking a lot of time to load, guys. Okay, so it is taking a lot of time to load, guys. But if I but there is no limit, guys. Okay, Selenium indefinitely waits. Okay, you see, I'll simply load this page. After the page is loaded, I want to quit this browser. Okay, after the page is loaded, I want to quit the browser. Simple. Now if I run this code, guys, the Selenium will wait until this page is loaded, then only it will quit. Okay, just see here, by default Selenium WebDriver waits for the page to load completely. Okay, once the page is loaded completely, it will move to the next step. Till then it will not do any action. Okay, you see, it will keep on waiting until the page is loaded. Once the page is loaded, it will close. Okay, that's what will happen. But if you want to set a time limit, sometimes what happens is some pages will not load so easily. Okay, some pages will take a lot of time to load. In that case, guys, in that case, what happens is you want to set a time limit. Okay, so beyond this, you should not allow. In that case, guys, you can set a time limit. So that is called as a page load timeout. Okay, so we can set some timeout here, guys. So I'll write the command like this here. Okay, I'm opening this application URL, and you will driver.manage.timeouts. Okay, I'll say timeouts, driver.manage.timeouts dot Okay, after timeouts, guys, after this, here it's not window, guys, it's timeouts. Okay, how much time? Get, sorry, what is that? Sorry, dot page load timeout. Okay, here we have to do like this. Okay, driver.manage.timeouts.pageLoadTimeout you have to tell, and in this you have to give the specified time. Okay, you have to give a limit. By default, Selenium WebDriver has no limit of time. It will indefinitely until the page is loaded. It will keep on waiting. Okay, so even 5 minutes also it will wait, kind of. Okay, but if you want to set a particular limit for the Selenium WebDriver, only wait up to this much time. Otherwise, if the page is not coming, so fail the script. Okay, in that case, for example, here I want to wait not more than duration dot of only 2 seconds, guys, maximum. So duration, sorry, not duration dot of, it's duration dot of seconds I have to give. Okay, and give the number of seconds. Maximum time the Selenium WebDriver has to wait for this particular application to load on the browser is 2 seconds. Beyond 2 seconds, if it is this application is taking beyond 2 seconds, the Selenium WebDriver is not going to wait indefinitely. Rather, it is going to throw an exception, guys. Okay, so run this code, guys, so you'll get an exception, because within 2 seconds the application page has to load. Otherwise exception will come. You see, it will try to load the application Selenium 143. If it is taking more than 2 seconds, yeah, more than 2 seconds it took. Any exception came? Looks like this page is loading a bit fast now. Today, okay, sorry, I have to. Sorry, guys. What I have done mistake is I have to give 2 seconds, but this line should be there before this application is loaded. Okay, that's correct. Only whatever I have written is correct, but I have to set this timeout, right? Page load timeout I have to set. Then only this line will be applied for that. Okay. So before this opening of the application URL, I have to write this line. Okay, that's a mistake I have done. Let's see this time. Should get an exception. If the page is taking more than 2 seconds, it will give an exception. Okay. You see, already exception is coming, but that's why the browser is not closed here. You see, an exception came here. What was the exception, guys? Let's see here, timeout exception. Okay. So it is taking more than 2 seconds. That's why simple. Okay. What if I'll give like I'll give a the page load timeout as 10 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds. In this case, the exception may not come, because if this application loads within 10 seconds, the exception will not come. Okay, this timeout exception will not come. Let's run this time. If I'm giving 2 seconds, exception is coming. But if I give 10 seconds, if the application is taking, okay, it's loading within 10 seconds, no problem. If more than 10 seconds is the application is taking, then I'll get a timeout exception. Okay, this kind of thing we can do in real time, guys. If an application is taking too much of time, like 10 seconds, then you see the exception didn't come this time. Okay, the exception didn't come this time. So when I keep it as 2, right, I have set the limit of page to be loaded, application page URL to be loaded in 2 seconds, then definitely we'll get an exception. Okay, so not all pages will load in 2 seconds, right? So fine. Okay, guys, so that is what is a page load timeout. By default, Selenium waits indefinitely for a particular page to load. It did not give any timeout exception. But if in case for your particular application you want to set a time limit for the particular application page URL to load, okay, within 3 seconds or within 10 seconds, if the application has to load, you can set that with the help of page load timeout command. Okay, so that's what is the purpose of the page load timeout. So guys, this is not the entire list, guys. Okay, whatever I have just demonstrated in this session, the list of commands belong to the getting started list, guys. Okay, to get started with Selenium, this list is enough. Okay, but there are more commands, guys. Okay, in Selenium WebDriver, there are a lot of other commands also. You see, a very big list of commands are there. I may not be able to cover this commands at a go. The same session I cannot cover this. Okay, because these different commands belong to different concepts. Okay, so I need to explain you some theory, and suggested to that theory I have to explain some commands like that. Okay, so as simple as these commands, I cannot explain these commands, guys. Okay, some explanation, some prerequisites are required for understanding these commands. Some theory I have to explain as part of understanding these commands. So that's why, guys, I listed them as a pending commands. Okay, these are the pending commands that I need to explain as part of this session. I will cover each and every command of these things in the next few sessions. Okay, in the next few sessions, all these commands will be covered for you. Along with these commands, concept related to these commands also will be covered for you. Okay, so this is a pending list of commands we have for now. But getting started list of commands for Selenium WebDriver commands we are done with. Okay, I have covered a lot of commands as part of getting started list, but still there are other commands that I'm going to cover in the next few sessions as part of the context and needs and requirements. Okay. So that's all for this session, guys. See you in the next video session. Thank you. Bye.